Tinubu must go. Tinubu must go.
Tinubu must go.
Yes. Tinubu must go. Tinubu and Bermu.
Yeah.
Benu.
Tinubu must go.
Yes, thank you. Tinubu must go.
Tinubu must go.
Yes, one and Kasamba na Ubanshi Bani. Tinubu must go, Baba. Tinubu must go. Yes, Tinubu must go. Allah ya shi dan uwar shi. Tinubu must go. Arewa sai ya bar mu. Sai ya bar mu. Arewa ya. Tinubu must go. Tinubu must go. Akpabio must go. No democracy in Nigeria. Babu democracy a wannan kasan. Babu. Sai wahala. Sai wulakanci. Tinubu must go. Tinubu must go. Yes. Yes. Tinubu must go. Tinubu must go. Tinubu must go. Aka.
Social media. Lónìí mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ sí Sunday Igboho dákọ̀ ẹ bá ń ṣe fídíò ìkọlù lọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀. Igboho sà yẹ sọ fún ọ ọ̀fẹ́ alábìbọ̀rà mo ti gbọ́ pé ó ti dàpọ̀ bání ọba bání sọ́ra rẹ̀ ọba bání kò jẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ wàláì tàláì bání kò jẹ́ ìgàgàfà ọ̀fẹ́ alábìbọ̀rà àwọn ìyìn àbání àbẹ̀rù rẹ̀ tó bá jẹ́ pé ọmọge ni ọ mo fi alábìbọ̀rà Sunday Igboho ìwọ ọmọge ni ọ àwa àti pé àfa àfẹ́ ẹ̀mí wa fà ẹ̀mí wa àfẹ́ wàlá àfẹ́ Taniyo wèrè ìwọ bàtà lọ́jẹ́ mo fi anábìbúra tó bá òwò abá ní ó ti jẹ bàbá rẹ̀ ọmọ rẹ̀ ṣé Fúlàní ló pa ìyá rẹ̀ àdóhùn ló pa bá rẹ̀ àwa Fúlàní bá ní àjẹ olè pé Yorùbá tó wà bá ní kó béèrè pé ṣé Fúlàní bá ní ọjẹ olè ní àjẹ olè owó làwọn wà kùsà tó ń wíwùn ṣé ó lè yóò lọ kùsà kó lọ wà o ẹni tó jẹ pé yóò wà o yóò lọ ṣe olè kò ní lọ kùsà wàlá ẹ̀ sọ́ra rẹ̀ abẹ́rù rẹ̀ tó bá ó ti gbé ẹsẹ̀ rẹ̀ jáde sí ibi tí ọwọ́ abá ní mọ̀fẹ́ ọlọ́mbọ̀ra onílòlé ẹgbẹ́ ẹsẹ̀ rẹ̀ kó jáde bẹ́tì wàhálà onílòlé Taniyo ọmọ àlè wàhálà òbí ọ̀dà abá ní àtìkùsà kò jẹ́ pé ìgàgà lọ́hùn tó bá ó ti jáde sí ibi tí ọwọ́ abá ní onílòlé tí a jẹ́ olè ní olómi olè ló mú nínú bá ní ó dàpọ̀ orúkọ bá ní orúkọ.
They are arresting people every now and then, even yesterday night, day before yesterday night. 3 nights ago, criminals have been arrested. But one thing is this, our own people are also now getting involved. In Egoma this morning, people that were arrested were not Fulanis. At Uromi, 3 nights ago, somebody that was arrested is never a Fulani man. Somewhere in Ewora, somebody that was arrested were never Fulani. But do you know one funny thing? Is that our people will now go to the north to go and recruit people to come here to help them do the job. They will kidnap somebody and give it to them in the bush.
Block that road. I'm talking to you.
This man is not a policeman.
No crest, oh.
He's not a policeman.
No, he's not are you a policeman?
He's not.
No, it's not
not
true.
A policeman.
Let me see your crest.
He's not a policeman. He's not a policeman.
What's your first number?
But that is my name.
Me, I can't read it. It's eating all over. An SPO, ASP. Okay, this rank.
The place of my...
Is that why you wear slippers and you're on the road?
Because of the rain. Because of the rain.
Let me see your belt. Let me see the belt you are wearing. Let me see the kind of belt you are wearing.
Because of the rain.
Let me see the kind of belt you are wearing to your uniform. Wait. Is this police belt?
Is it Ania? Ania is one.
You are a very irresponsible officer.
See the Ania here.
Get his details. Where are you serving? Don't talk in no. No, where are you serving? Where are you serving, my friend? Keep quiet. Stop that nonsense.
Safe highway. Safe highway.
They tell you to be disgracing yourself. You are disgracing yourself. You are not fit to wear that rank. Get his details for me.
What's your AP number?
You. Why do you block road? Go and remove those things first. Why did you block that road? I'm talking to you.
This man is not a policeman.
No crest, oh.
He's not a policeman.
No, he's not are you a policeman?
He's not.
No, it's not true.
A policeman.
Let me see your crest.
He's not a policeman. He's not a policeman.
What's your first number?
2417.
When did he join the police?
Come on.
Is he a
Respect for incoming president. Revolution! That's so. That's so.
I beg you.
That's so.
It's not terrorism.
That's so. That's so. That's so. That's so.
President.
That's so. President. Don't start.
What is that?
I'm in dresses. I'm in dresses. They're not.
Everybody. If the country is free today, it's free for everybody.
Hello and welcome. My name is Rabiu Kwankwaso. Thank you so much for joining us for this special conversation. A federal high court sitting in Lokoja, Kogi State, today, Friday, ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to deregister the Nigerian Democratic Congress, NDC. If that ruling stands, two of Nigeria's most prominent opposition figures, Mr. Peter Obi and Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, could be left without a political platform for the 2027 presidential election. What does this mean for the future of opposition politics in Nigeria? Is this a legal setback, a political earthquake, or the beginning of a major realignment ahead of 2027? In this special edition of our conversation on Fridays, we examine the implications of the ruling and the state of the Nigeria's opposition politics with two leading voices in the Peter Obi Rabiu Kwankwaso political movement, popularly known as the Village Boys and OK movement. Joining us are Maazi, Tobechukwu, Ezeoke. Most of you know him. He is the anchor and the managing director of Njenje Media. Maazi Ezeoke will join us with John Uwulu. John Uwulu is the director of the OK movement. Maazi Ezeoke, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rudolph. Thank you for having me.
Dr. Damages. Where is John?
I will be asking you, I don't know.
I sent a message to John. I called John, he didn't answer. But anyway, John will join us in a moment. Also, with us in the studio, we have KJ and other people who will be joining us. Maazi, thank you so much for making our time to be here. This is a very important day. Things are going, I don't know what's going on with the country, and I hope you can help us understand what is happening. Welcome again.
Thank you very much, Rudolph.
We planned to, I think we planned this conversation 2 days ago. We didn't know what will happen, what happened today. What happened today? How did people wake up and hear that NDC has there's a court order to deregister NDC?
Well, you know, today from this part of the world is only about 18 minutes before today is wrapped up. And many of us woke up early, you know, as usual. And before noon, we started some of us started receiving calls. You know, as we were talking before, John told you when he was woken up, mine was I was pulled into a conference call and briefed on what was happening. The next is was to send videos, and you know, conversations started happening, and everyone, you know, started having information as to what is actually happening. Now, you know, I must confess that while we knew that the federal government would stop at nothing to stop His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi from being in the ballot come 2027, we did not envisage and we didn't see that the method used today will be used in order to stop him from being in the ballot. And as I said before you knew it, what started as rumor eventually appeared to be confirmed to be true. I believe if you have seen the video by the legal counsel of the parties that have gone to court, you will see where clearly stated, and we are still waiting for the CTC report. But if anything by the legal counsel to those that have gone to court is to go by, you can see that what it means is that the rug was pulled from the NDC. However, if you had listened also to the statement made earlier this evening by His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi as to what is at play, he clearly, urged everyone to remain calm and to say that no matter what Nigeria is going through now, that 2027, people shouldn't worry, that things will be sorted out. So I believe that the legal counsel by Monday morning will be approaching the court to vacate that order that was made today. So by Monday morning, I believe, or by noon, we will have a different direction. But no, I wrote a piece earlier the afternoon to say that actually, why is Bola Ahmed Tinubu afraid of a Peter Obi come 2027?
Let's go back to the Peace Movement Party. Who are they?
Well, Peace Movement Party, in the Nigerian parlance, some will say they are meddlesome interlopers. It's a political party that wanted to be, but they weren't. And suddenly, if John joins us today, as John had earlier highlighted, he appeared to have more knowledge as to who are they. But to my mind, they are nothing but a group of people who, are being used by the powers that be to destabilize the NDC. Because to be honest with you, the momentum and in all that they've thrown our ways, they never believed that the NDC will see the light of day to this point. So again, to your question, who are the, I would say, as Nigerians will say, fondly say, those are meddlesome interlopers who are being used by the APC ruling government to destabilize the NDC.
Mm-hmm. Has there been any reaction from the government?
I mean, I take it that you're not expecting the government to react.
I mean, yeah, they maybe say that this is outrageous, this is not, that the democratic space should be opened up for everybody to participate, that...
Rudolph, in Igbo, you know that it is impossible to expect a chick or a chicken or a fowl to urinate. That does not happen. So expecting the government to react is infertile. It's not going to happen anyway. I mean, the government, the only reaction that they will be having now is that if you look at some quarters in Abuja today, you might see some legal, people you may call legal mind probably popping up champagne that certain plans that was hatched and that plan has materialized.
So your movement, the Village Boys movement, how are your people taking this news?
Well, what the government is trying to do is to play with fire, right? At some point I stopped picking calls because everyone is calling. People are agitated, people are worried, and I think we've released a statement saying and urging everyone to remain calm, that nothing spoiled, as we say in street parlance in Nigeria. And His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi had also urged Nigerians to really disregard what has happened, that legal process will be followed to restore order. Now, within the movement is watching and on standby to as to further directions. But like I said, by Monday, we'll have more clarity, and we do believe that by Monday, some of these issues that have happened, and government has a way of trying to really put spanner in the wheel. Question: why did that happen on a Friday? Just like when government arrests you on a Friday, you know that they want you to spend minimum of 2 days behind bars. So that is the same method here. Get this done on a Friday. The courts don't work on Saturday. They don't work on Sunday. I mean, there is absolutely nothing that can happen. That they only intend to have the nation be in the dark for 2 days without necessarily having a direction. As per the movement is waiting for further direction as to what next. But and I believe by tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, there will be meetings, across the states, and with the national leadership led by myself, as to make that decision as to what next. But I do not envisage where drastic actions will be taken before Monday and before further action. But Nigerians must be reassured, and they must know that no matter what, come 2027, we will be in the ballot, and that election will be won by the NDC.
What about other opposition parties? Have they issued any statements in support, or are they? What is the reaction from that?
Well, to be honest, I haven't read, but I mean, I've read a statement from the Obedient Movement led by Dr. Yunusa Tanko, obviously from the Village Boys. I do not know if other parties have done so. For the last 2 hours, I've been offline, so I believe within the last 2 hours or thereabout, there might have been other people. Recall that when similar thing happened within the ADC, African Democratic Congress, that there was swift and collective condemnation of that. So I expect same to be the case here, where the collective, the opposition, quote unquote, would kick and condemn this level of madness happening right now. That by what it means, everyone it's been a long time. The government has been accused of wanting a one-party state. By all means necessary, it appears that the government, irrespective of what the people say, do, or act, is intending to see that the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is on the ballot unchallenged. I mean, that is, that is not fair, because you recall that His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi once said that when people talk about level playing field, that the challenge we are now having moving into 2027 is that there is no field at all. Talking, before you even talk about whether the field is level or bent, and before you even talk about any level playing field.
Is the Peter Obi running for president today different from the one that ran in 2023?
Obviously, 3 years is a great time to improve. 3 years is a great time to, learn new things and take new and bolder decisions. Yes, I can guarantee you that the man that you saw in 2023 is now more wiser and tougher than the man that ran 2023. Yes.
Okay, so considering that we brought you, we were talking about having you here today to talk about the movement, your movement, the Village Boys movement, and to talk about the candidates and how the candidate has transformed over the years. But now we are stuck with this new story. But tell me about the movement. How has it been? The last time we spoke to you a few weeks ago was when you became the headmaster of the Village Boys movement. How has it transformed?
Well, it hasn't been easy. And, you know, there is one singular achievement the movement had done, which is, I believe many Nigerians no longer hear about the City Boys. The movement has been able to run the City Boys off the show, right? And you can see, as many people will know, the movement emerged as a direct affront to the madness that was happening in some parts of the nation, you know, known or rather being engineered by the City Boys. And quickly, as soon as the mobilization started, and the noise, the decibel of noise that was being generated by the City Boys was run aground. And the City Boys, as we speak, are nowhere to be found. That means the owners of the soil, the villagers, the village boys, men, girls, women, all have taken over their rightful place. Now, that initial job is done. Now, the second part now is that, as you understand, we had a nationwide march in what we call the 2 million man march in March, which was a huge success. And also, you know, last month in Abuja, we also had a march in Abuja the day His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi emerged as the candidate of the NDC. That march in Abuja was led by myself, where we started from the Unity Fountain and ended up in Idu, where the event took place. I mean, you know, the number of people that came out, the energy that the people displayed, it was a clear case of, you know, saying that 2023 was a child's play. That 2027 is going to be something different. So the movement is, you know, going from strength to strength. As we speak today, the movement is going ahead, having recruited village heads in various states, moving into senatorial coordinators and you know, senatorial heads, moving into LGAs in some states like the state of Anambra, in some states like Abia, in some states like Adamawa, and in the FCT, we are now moving into the wards and, you know, local government wards and polling units to ensure that it is not by mouth, that in these places where it matters, that we have individuals who are trained, who are, you know, who cannot be compromised when the time comes that they are holding forth in these various areas. So the movement is really, it's a humongous task, but we are living up to the expectation, and the movement is moving stronger.
Now, most political parties in Nigeria had their primaries, and after the primaries, there were issues across the board. How was it for NDC?
I mean, you know, NDC is a political party like every other political party. You know, they had their primaries, and this is why the issue today is very tactical. Today was the day they were supposed to get the code for upload. Upload was the upload of those who won for, you know, the various posts was supposed to commence tomorrow, the 27th of June 2026. So, you know, I'm yet to speak to those who are in charge to say where we are with that, if that's is still within the timeline, if that's still starting tomorrow, if we still have the code. So like every other party, most of all the party have not really published the names of those that have won. But I am aware that within the NDC, those who have emerged as candidates are all compiled, and and if we're barring any other last-minute changes from tomorrow, these names will be uploaded within the INEC portal, and those who have emerged are also aware, because it's only when you have emerged as the the candidate that you be given the form to fill, so that forms are not given to multiple individuals. Forms are only given to those who have emerged as candidates. And those who have emerged as candidates have been contacted, they've been given the form, and they fill the form. And once those are uploaded, Nigerians will now know who those names are.
I wanted to know, when was the last time you spoke to Peter Obi or Kwankwaso?
I had a conversation yesterday with His Excellency Mr. Peter.
What about Kwankwaso?
It's been a while, I think about 3 weeks. I mean, while we had the events we had in Abuja when he emerged. Since that time, there hasn't necessarily been need for us to speak, but if there is any reason why I have to interface with His Excellency Rabiu Kwankwaso, I would always have that line open to have that conversation. But obviously, because I do a lot with His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, we almost on a daily basis we do converse.
I asked because I wanted to know, has there been any reaction from the people in the northern part of the country to today's news?
To the best of my knowledge, no. It's also good that there is no reaction until further notice. So let's wait. It's good that no one took to the streets, which I must confess, I am happy that hasn't happened, and that didn't happen until Monday, and we will see what next, and where things go from there.
I looked at comments online, and like what you just said, that nobody took to the street, and people were saying that I hope this wouldn't be like the outcome of the last election when it was announced, and we were told to calm down, and then we calmed down. From calming down, we went to court, and from going to court at the end is what it is. That this might not, hopefully this wouldn't be the sequence.
Well, when people talk about calming down or not, I mean, Nigerians must know that those who are contesting to lead Nigeria are law-abiding citizens who believe in the judicial process. And they've done the right thing, that when you feel aggrieved, you go to court. Now, when the outcome is it's not in your favor, it's quite unfortunate. But that you have disagreement and you begin to engage in untoward activities is not necessarily a very civilized way of doing things. However, having said that, there was a conversation at some point, if you recall, June 12th event last year in Abuja. While His Excellency Peter Obi was speaking, he made something, and he made a very direct statement where he said, in 2027, Nigerians will come out to vote. It is the duty of INEC to count their votes. However, if those who are tasked with the burden to count our votes, if they refuse to count our vote, we will count them. And people, especially those in government, took that as threat and say, or whatnot. People like us said, well, if you're not a criminal and someone says, well, if you steal my item, this is what I'm going to do to you, then you begin to agitate. It means, that clearly will define who you are. So if you do not have the intention not to count our votes, then you shouldn't worry yourself. But if you have the intention not to count our vote, because from experience of 2023, we do not have faith in the judiciary. Therefore, we are not interested in going to court come 2027. That election will be decided by Nigerians, and they will decide it in the polling unit. Therefore, those who intend not to count the votes of genuine Nigerians would be counted in that polling unit. That's no threat. It's just a question of saying, well, if you don't want to do the right thing, then allow the people to do the right thing to you.
There was a story headline I saw. I wanted to clarify with you that it's true headline that Peter Obi said that now he's ready to die fighting for Nigeria. Was that a right?
Well, it's a statement. It's a reoccurring statement. He has said it in multiple interviews. I think the last one was
Rufai?
In the interview he had with Rufai Hussein, that he's prepared to die for Nigeria. In one of the interviews, I think a year or two ago, he said that if there was war in Nigeria and he's outside the country, he would come back in Nigeria. I mean, he's, a lot of people have raised concern the way he moves and mingles within Nigeria. He is one man who believes that the nation is redeemable, and he believes that he has he is the best person to get the nation to move in the right trajectory.
Okay, I'm in touch with John. He's trying to join us, and when he joins us, we will get his perspective on what is going on, and especially from the Kwankwaso angle, which I'm interested in. In the meantime, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we have our people who are in the studio. They will be part of the conversation. Again, thank you, Maazi, Ezeoke, for being here as we look at the stories in the news today, starting with this court ruling that shocked a lot of people in Nigeria.
fills the purse. Now you know everything is increasing like mad. Things places you could go with 100 naira before, you are not talking about quadruple, triple the price. I tell you, we are seeing what happening in France. It's not a threat to anybody, but it's when you hold the populace down for a while and for a long time, even goats can bite when they see no other ways that they can escape.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We're having an Friday evening conversation with Maazi Tobechukwu Ezeoke, who is the headmaster of the Village Boys movement, a movement associated with the candidacy of Peter Obi. Am I getting it right? Sometimes I don't understand the whole connections, But anyway, John, for those who are waiting, John is having technical issues joining us. I will also go back behind the scene and help him to see if I can bring him in. So Maazi, so back to what we were discussing, the news of today and what it means for the opposition party in Nigeria. Most people believe today that it will be resolved and that NDC will be part of the election. But what does this indicate? The fact that it actually happened and what might also happen before the election. What is that saying to you or to people in your movement? What do you tell them this is all about?
What that means to me, without mincing word, is a reaffirmation that come 2027, whatever the result of that election is in the polling unit, is what we must fight to maintain. If we lose the election, which I doubt we will based on what is on ground and the actions being taken, then it must be lost at the polling unit. What it means is that the judiciary, I believe you have seen the mansions being built by the landlord of Abuja for the for the judges in Abuja, right?
Mm-hmm.
You look at it, and I saw the buildings. I thought, wow, so Nigeria can actually build something as tasteful as this, whereas the masses suffer. And if you were one of those judges that received one of those houses, and in 2027 you were asked to make any determination, why wouldn't you? Knowing that, I will say to you, Rudolph, we, the Village Boys movement, the OK movement, the Obedient, and all supporters of His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, once bitten, twice shy. We are nowhere in any way, shape, or form. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. So Nigeria can actually build houses like this, and this was built for judges. And you expect that those who have handed these buildings free of charge will deliver judgment. Come on, unless you're lying to yourself. Therefore, the 2027 election will start at the polling unit and at the polling unit. We must do everything to avoid the intersection between our votes and those who will occupy the building you are showing on the screen now. And that is the spirit of 2027.
So once people listening to you now might say, look at Ekiti election. What happened there? And the man has been declared the winner of the election. And the country continues. He will be sworn in and he will take power. Are you satisfied with what happened in Ekiti? And what gives you the assurance that 2027 will not be like what happened in Ekiti?
You know, the story of Ekiti is, truth be told, I think there wasn't a serious contender in Ekiti. I mean, truth be told. And we can see Ekiti is a state that reaffirmed to every single sensible Nigerian that your vote counts. That's what my takeaway from Ekiti. You know why? Because you can see that they paid as much as 15,000 naira. You saw that young girl who was displaying the amount of money she collected. It's quite sad. If your vote was not counting, if your vote does not matter, they wouldn't be doing these things they were doing, because they were doing this to extract your vote. Now, there was a pastor, I don't know if you watched it, the video that trended today, who was saying that the reason why these people rig election is because we allow them to. That if everybody, you know, if in a polling unit where you have 1,000 people registered and probably 200 people came out to vote, you have allowed them 800 human beings or 800 vote leeway to manipulate, where easily they can add 100 and 150 in order to pump up their numbers. But if the people really said, we are tired of this mess and this nonsense, and which we are working to ensure that people are mobilized, even the disabled, when it comes to the day of election, we are putting plans in place that even if it means using keke to go to door and get people out to vote. The able body, nobody leaves that polling unit until the results are announced. So when you look at these things, on one hand, you say that Ekiti, in my view, yes, there is a lot of irregularities that happen in Ekiti, but when you look at it, there isn't that, you know, crazy urge and surge for someone else to take over in Ekiti. Quite unlike at the presidential level, where you know there are individuals who are hell-bent on removing this government, and this government know it. Why is it that every day you wake up, what you hear the government tweet from all those that are employed from strategic communication to essays, you wake up every single day, they have one man in their lips. Obi here, Obi there, Obi, Peter Obi this, Peter Obi the other one, Peter Obi. They have jobs to do, starting from Bayo Ononuga to Daniel Buala to the one mocking himself and the, you know, and those other ambassadors that were rejected or whatever. So you can see every single day, they keep attacking one man. You know, Rudolph, you know it. I understand that if you go to Nkwono, you know,
Afonobi.
Afonobi.
You know, that's very critical. You can't mix it up. Afonobi, go ahead.
I understand that if you go to Afonobi, as if you're heading to Okete,
yeah,
at back of that shrine on your right, there is a ripe mango there. You know, when a mango is fruitless, nobody is interested in going near the mango tree. But when that mango is ripe with suckling mango, juicy mangoes, you see the kids. And I know growing up, Rudolph, you were among those who were, you know, who had a PhD in how to, you know, use, what's it called? Mbu. You know, mbu stick to actually hit the mango.
Actually, you're right.
Exactly. They're looking at you. I understand that, you know, that is the type of thing you would have done. Now,
I thought that was a sign that I could be good in golf.
Well, you could, but you didn't.
I didn't try.
Because there were, you know, as they say, there is a lot of things that follow a man. The family must eat first before you golf. You are not a Tiger Woods, you know. So, but you were in the know. not tiger wood, but mango wood, if you understand what I mean. So in that sense, if we get to reality, what it means, Rudolph, is that Peter Obi is that mango tree standing there with so much fruit, and that's why you see from all angles they're all hitting, because there is something that the government is not saying. This government runs poll every week, and the result of those polls that they run scares them. They do. And anytime they run the poll comes out, they are scared, the inner room gets jittery, and they say, okay, let's go, let's see what we can, how we can destroy this man. But no matter how and what they do, it doesn't stick. No matter what they do, it does not stick. The man is, is faster than they can think of. The man is doing much more that the government can actually bear and contain.
All right. Thank you, Maazi.
Finally.
Is that your John?
Yes, that's John here.
Okay. So we had the wrong picture on the flyer.
But you took my cousin. It's okay. You took him, but
John, we are sorry. Because of the way this was arranged, we didn't have chance to cross-check things.
I thought he sent you the anyway.
Yeah, I sent the picture.
By the time he sent a picture, it was too late. I already, our designer did that. So thank you so much for joining us, John. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Tell us your role as OK Movement Director. What is OK? Obi Kwankwaso, is that?
Yeah, the Obi Kwankwaso movement.
Okay. How is that different from Village Boys movement and the Obedient movement? Which one is superior? Who has
when you ask the question, you can see the village headmaster is laughing. One thing I tell people is that until we begin to put the right pegs in the right hole, the right places, we can't seem to get things right. I was so proud of the movement called the Village Boys, meaning that if you go to the village, you can fit in, I can fit in because I didn't grow up in the village. Do you get what I'm saying now? And the structure of any movement, any grassroots comes within the purview of the village. So he has been able to demonstrate it, that, look, there is no city without village. So, and most often, our politicians, they dwell more on the city. The noise are being heard more in the city. People like what you're doing now, the social media, the website, the Twitter, whatever you call it. It doesn't transcend in the village. The village is one-to-one communication. We ring the local bell, the guys come out. We communicate locally. The town crier goes around and look, tomorrow we're having a meeting, everybody converge in the square market to discuss the problem prevailing the village. So that is where I said, I give it up to him that, look, this is a very good movement. For us in the OK movement, we felt the need to galvanize people who are just literally Obi supporters. They don't want to be identified as obedient. I'm an obedient. Everyone of us is an obedient. But there are people, bankers, intellectual, professors, lawyers, doctors, they are Peter Obi supporter. They believe in Peter Obi's ideology. But they don't want to be known or called or addressed as obedient. And they are 100% loyal to His Excellency Peter Obi. So that is where we come in from to say, look, the strength to bring those people, we don't want to lose them. We want to identify with them. So how can we now bring these two people together? Meaning that how can we bring these people that believe in the ideology of Peter Obi, not wanting to be called obedient, not wanting to be called village boys, not wanting to be called other names. They just want to be PO's supporter. So that's one of the things the research we made, and we got that gave back to this OK movement. And so as the Kwankwaso. The Kwankwaso, you have people that are in Kwankwaso movement. And there are people that support Rabiu Kwankwaso, Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso movement. The belief, the doctors, the lawyers. So the only way we could say, okay, you know what? You are supporting your Peter Obi supporter. You are supporting Alhaji Rabiu Senator Musa Kwankwaso. You are a supporter. So come together. We now form this alliance called the OK movement. That is the best. And that OK word just means a reassurance to Nigeria that in no time all will be fine. That is that word. If you pick that word,
Nigeria will be
it's a
okay.
common word we use every day. And whether you talk to your kids, if they are fighting, jumping, guys, it's okay, they're going to slow down. So what Nigeria is going through now, the OK movement is just telling Nigerians that, look, being you politician from one party to another, just calm down. The right ticket is coming. And that's why we're able to bring this thing out that Nigeria will be okay.
So, having said that, how did you receive the news of what happened today, the court in Lokoja?
If you are a true supporter of Peter Obi and you're not expecting this, that means you're not prepared for Nigerian politics. We saw it coming. We knew it was going to happen. It's not a prediction. We knew it was going to happen. The timing was right for them. We knew the game they were playing. If you can recollect, I think 2 weeks ago, when these parties were deregistered, ADC and other Accord or other parties, we knew that was not the game they were playing. We knew where they were going to. And if you listen to Rufai on the rise, he made it very clear that all this dancing around the drums they are playing, the government know they know what they have in stock. So we know that they are coming. So we're ready. We know. I got a call about 8 o'clock this morning in local time here. That probably around 12:01 in Nigeria. And a guy from the Nation called, Point called, Vanguard called, about 4 different prints called me. Oh, DG, where are you? What's going on? We are hearing this. And they were acting as if they were surprised. I said, but you guys are media people. Why are you surprised? We saw it coming. We knew they were going to do this. So the question out there, what are we prepared? What are we doing? What message are we giving? Counter response. That's where I'm coming. I'm not interested in whatever they say, however they want to do. I'm not interested in that because I knew they were coming to this particular stage we are today.
So, and your reaction as the director of OK Movement has been?
I've not really put out a very strong publication out there because I was waiting for the party, which is Supreme. The party had said they will appeal against it. I'm sure the lawyers are. I mean, from the whole, sometimes I feel ashamed to have some conversation. Back here in Atlanta here, we're in the midst of some Americans from Nigeria, some delegates from the Congress. Haven't them had this kind of news? There are things you can't defend as Nigeria. But as Nigeria, you must defend your country first. And what we're telling them, regardless of this, Nigeria is still a great country. Regardless of the whole shenanigan playing out today, it doesn't still mean that this is the true color of Nigeria. No, this is not the true picture of Nigeria. We know the people that are doing this, they're just few as to the over 200 million population we have. So I made it very strong. We condemn it, we're against it. Whoever is instigating, whoever is behind this so-called ruling, we are coming after them. We will come. We will come a legal way. We will come, whatever means we will come after you. We will tell you it's not just going to happen. It's not going to happen. This is not the normal. Look, the government understand that this fight is not between OK movement or obedient Kwankwaso. No, it is against the Nigerian people.
That's correct.
That is what we're telling you, that you're not fighting us. I'm a Nigeria before being the DG of OK movement. He's in Nigeria before being the headmaster. You are in Nigeria before whatever you're doing now, whether you're condemned, the first thing, we are Nigeria and we have a country to save. So if you want to take your food, we are taking the fight to the foot of the, we're bringing the fight. Gone are the days where people wait, sit back, you come, you do whatever you want, you just give us results, and everybody walk home, we clap. It's not going to happen. So that's what we're telling them. So however you come, your judgment, whatever your ruling, and I can't even explain it. You don't need to be a legal person to understand that this is just crap. Like I put it, this is just not. You can't say it out. And I'm shocked when I went through the court ruling today. I was reading it, and I burst into laugh. That look, how can somebody sit down, pronounce such? I can't factor it in.
You said that you were speaking to some Americans. What was their reaction? How did they see the judgment?
You live here. You know the things that are unacceptable here. You know they have a standard. So what they came from DC and some from New York. And while we were discussing something totally different about investment in Nigeria, look, I'm here now telling people to come and invest in Nigeria. It's not my primary responsibility because I'm not in the government. But I feel that if the country, no matter what, I won't say because I'm not in the government, I will discourage people to come to Nigeria. So we are trying to get investors into Nigeria, and the same investors are seeing this court judgment, talking about, look at the breaking news in Nigeria, and we're telling them that, look, this is not the true Nigeria. This is not who we are. Yes, this is the reason we are out. This is the reason why I'm leading this movement, to get these people out of the way. Nigeria needs to grow. Nigeria needs to move. We need to start bringing people back home. We're tired. The normal way of life has to stop. And that's what, and they quite agree. Then they know. And they're ready. So this is it. The people here are ready to give us whatever support we need to make sure the rule of law is being upheld in Nigeria. And that's what we need them for.
Okay, so Maazi, Ezeoke, and let me pose this question. So for the next 1 week or two, maybe we'll be discussing this issue about whether a NDC is registered or not registered, and we'll be going to court and we'll be doing this, and that's what the nation will be discussing. But we forget that we had an election in Ekiti where there were voters vote buying, where people were getting voters cards to go and vote, where materials did not come in on time, where election results were altered in some places. Exactly the same thing that we complain about in 2027. And we'll be distracted from that. How do you reassure the Nigerian people that the bigger issue, we've talked about the primaries, John, before you came in, and we said that during the primaries, we saw how parties had their primaries. Right there, people believe that this election has been rigged because some people who are carrying the card, who are now candidates, shouldn't have been the candidates. When you count from 1 to 100, and people accepted it, and people have accepted what happened in Ekiti, and the man elected will now be called the governor for another 4 years. And then it's an acceptance of something that is wrong, that shouldn't be that way. How do you assure the Nigerian people that 2027, the same thing that happened in Ekiti wouldn't happen and we move on and continue the same way?
Okay, my own understanding, your election was just on the 22nd, if I'm not mistaken, of this month, the in America here. Remember very well? The primaries.
Yeah.
And I think I don't have the video of that. I walked around the state of Maryland, and I was going to check how you guys do how you guys do things here. And I schooled here, so I know. But I just want to go back to say this is how maybe it has changed because of Donald Trump now. Maybe a lot of things have changed. And I'm I was talking to one of the my zonal coordinator, and I said, look, when you talk about election rig in Nigeria, they are quick to tell you, oh, they rig all over the whole world. That is the typical way of a Nigerian politician that has rigged his way into power to justify whatever shenanigan is doing. He will tell you, oh, why they rig in UK, they rig in America, and I'm going around, I'm checking. Elections are so peaceful. People walking, casting their vote, they walk away. Nothing like I'm looking. Is this really an election going on? It's like you are going to your Sunday prayer meeting. You walk there, you say your rosary, and you walk out. I'm like, this is how did you get it wrong? But for me, I tell whoever is on my platform, whoever is coming to discuss with, I'll tell you the same thing that the OK movement stands for. Election will be conducted at the polling unit. The results will be announced at the polling unit. If we lose, fine. If we win, good. We're not going to fight if we lose based on the result that is counted.
Must be
But
lost
if you
square.
try to repeat like what you said in 2023, they're not ready for what is coming. They're not going to find it easy. That is the assurance we are giving the people. Look, and we will not be intimidated. We will not be subjected to the narrative of, oh, don't come out to vote. On this. That's not going to happen.
By all indications, Maazi, I want you to weigh in here. By all indications, the ruling party, the government, they've stockpiled money that they are going to use to buy votes. By all indications, we saw that in Ekiti, people only display the money they got. How will you counter that? Will it be acceptable if people, let's say in Edo State, got money and they voted for the government in power and they displayed that and they said, yeah, we got money, we voted? Would that be acceptable to you?
Okay. Rudolph, I hope you saw Isaac Fayoshe gave 1 million naira to someone who did not compromise and who did not take money that was offered. If you recall, in Anambra State election, the second tenure of Obiano, recall there was a woman who stood tall and shouted at those that came to give her money. Now, in 2027, as my good brother here said, those who refuse to count our vote will count them. No one has monopoly of calmness or otherwise. No one has the monopoly. The government, we have seen that there is limit to where the powers of government acquired through inducement can go. Government cannot buy every single person. On the election date, Nigerians will mount. And that election, as he said, he wasn't here when I said it, but that's one thing we all the movement have agreed on. We will match them for whatever they want. We will cast our vote. If we have to lose, let us lose that election at the polling unit. The court means absolutely nothing. We will match them for whatever it takes, and that election will be won and will be lost at the polling unit. So yes, of course, let them, bullion van is not today that we see bullion van drive into certain homes. It's not today. But mind you, even when bullion van drove around certain states, they lost like there was no tomorrow. Those individuals who actually voted in that way to say that even with your bullion van, we are not going to vote for you. Many of them are hungrier now than they were before. And what do we say? That an angry man and a hungry man is an angry man. We now see what the so-called First Lady of the Republic tell people, that they have given them money to go and fry akara and do kuli, that why are they complaining? And the spokesperson of the president, or rather his strategic communicator, comes in and says, oh, he's surprised. He's driving on a road paved with gold. Suddenly, why is everybody complaining? Well, because he's shielded by the solars in Asolo. He does not know that Nigerians do not have light. But they will learn the hard way. 2027 will be like no other year. And they know it. They are only jittery. I say it. They are jittery because every single poll that they run points to one thing. You know, in Igbo, we say, ebe nwata na ebe akwa alụ aka nne ya nọrọ ya nne ya nọrọ ebe.
No, Limbo man.
Where a child cries and points finger, if the mother is not there, the father must be there.
Yeah.
So they point finger in one direction. Why are they so interested in that direction that they keep pointing finger? Because that is where their undoing lies. And that's why they know it. Their statistics, their money, their polls told them, go into this election, kiss yourself goodbye. You see them manipulating whatever they're all doing. In order to make it look like, oh, all parties, suddenly you moved in, you left Zenith Labour, APP, you took ADC and joined them. But the real thing, you left it untouched so that everyone will say, oh, yeah, before they did it to you, they did it to every other person. But we know it. His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, knew it. He has been saying it. Even today, while he was in nowhere, while he was making his speech, he alluded to it. He said it, that every single, I mean, come on, this is election in Nigeria. But again, let no one think that, oh, these people are complaining, these people are crying. No, we are not. We have dusted our shoes. We have gotten our handkerchiefs. We're no longer crying. We are saying to them, let us meet in the field. The fight will be fought in the field, started in the field, ended in the field. We do not have any interest in going to any of them, any of their courts, because you know who the owner of those men that ought to be men of valor, but sadly, something has happened to them, and we must start the fixing. Many Nigerians watching us now, those that will watch us later, we implore you to join us in this journey to say, we totally reject this madness, we totally reject this mess. And with the spirit that we have imbibed to say, we must start this fight from the polling unit and end this fight at the polling unit without going elsewhere.
All right, thank you, Maazi. Okay, John, one last question before I let people in to interact with two guys. You said that you were not surprised about what happened today, that anybody following the political system in Nigeria and what's been going on shouldn't be surprised. What else do you know that might happen before the election that you can share with us?
Okay, now this is a question. You claim you have 31 governors, if I'm not mistaken. You're able to win the whole the whole state to yourself. The question you should be asking, why are they afraid? I mean, if I'm the president and I have the support of 31 states, I should be sleeping at home.
Mm-hmm.
I should be more relaxed. I mean, I would just tell my opponent, we don't need to conduct this election. I've already won because I have 31 governors. Why are you still? Let me tell you, capital projects are not being sponsored. 2024, 2025, 2026. Now ask the question. You are having money to give to the governors towards the election. You have money to spend. Nigerians are lacking, Nigerians are suffering. It's not your business. All the whole, whatever that took place in Ekiti. You remember Ekiti, it was a staggered election. It's not the election you run, not the same time.
Election, yeah.
If Ekiti election takes place the same day, in fact, let me tell you this story today. Take it home. If Nigerians should conduct 36 governorship election on the same day of the presidential election,
they will lose all.
75% of them will go home.
Fact.
The governors, 75% will go home. I can give you that very well.
No, sorry. Say that again. Why should that be?
Now let me tell you. Last election, I was the state DG, Lagos State DG. And I spoke to the late Dr. Odoyin Okukwe.
Okube.
I said, John, you are not even a full Yoruba. And I told him, no, I speak Yoruba more than the Yorubas. I can write, I can read. I schooled all my life in Lagos. I forgot that we all schooled in abroad, but Lagos is where I was born. I told him, should I manage this election, I can tell you I will take Lagos 75% result out. Oh, he said, John, no, don't give me that. I work by data. I don't believe in hearsay to say Yorubas are more like this, Igbos are like this. No. Let me surprise you. More of the vote that I have for Lagos was from the Yorubas, the indigenous people.
Correct.
Do you think, if Tinubu and Obi should walk on the street of Balogun, let me say Mushi, I can bet you the people that will rally around Peter Obi will be at least 80% more than Tinubu, our president.
No,
That I
John,
can give you.
John, you're talking about rallying. One, I can guarantee you will be receiving pure water, whereas one will be receiving selfie.
I was I think some few months ago, I was in Ibadan with Pio. We went to Ibadan just for the convention that happened in Ibadan. Was not for campaign or rally. Pio, we had a traffic on Mokola. I knew that Mokola roundabout under the bridge. The moment the people knew that was Peter Obi in the car, the whole place was shut down. This is Ibadan. I'm not saying Imu. I'm not saying Owerri. I'm not saying Onitsha. Ibadan. You look at these are facts you can check. The whole place was shut down. I'm like, I have to come down, start paying police officer to clear the road, but it was a mess. Everywhere was locked down. Everybody wants to have a handshake with this gentleman. You can't have it better than what you have now. So with another thing Nigeria should be waiting for, the strategy they have, that I can tell you today, for the election results, the present government will be beaten flat. But they want to plan and go out and still declare themselves. That is why the same 35 or 31 governors you say you have, the same one you say you have, you are still G-trained. So have that in mind, that this election is against the people. The people are the one telling, forget about the OK movement. Don't look at obedience. Don't forget about the village boys. What you want to look at are the average Nigeria that are suffering, telling you we are dying. Are you being concerned at all about the insecurity of Nigeria? We don't want to talk about that. Because where I am, I try to not as much to raise it. I'm a state here. I can discourage people from coming to Nigeria to come and invest. Can you just imagine the level of insecurity we're going through? Did we have this in time of Jonathan? And you are telling me, oh, we are going. I mean, people should have self-pride. I said, look, I throw in the towel. Look, I know this was not my plan, and I can't do it. It's simple. Why are you taking advantage of over 200 million people telling you we are tired, we are hungry, we're in darkness, we are not safe, we are sick, no medicals, and you're fighting to go back to that position? That ain't going to happen, bro. That's not going to happen. The Nigeria does not belong to one. It's not his father's enterprises. Understand that very well. We all own Nigeria. We owe the Nigerian duty to make their life and property paramount, safety first. And the government has failed. So why are we having this conversation? I tell people, I don't go out to tell people, I don't talk about the problems in Nigeria. The solution is we're going to the polling units, we are voting, we're counting the results. The results will be declared right there. Simple. That's what I'm not going to tell you, this is, if I happen to rerun Lagos 20 times, no matter the amount of money you spend, I will still take that election to them at their doorstep, beat them there. Simple. It's numbers. They don't have it. I mean, you can't tell a man, you can't beat a man and you're telling a man not to cry. People are crying. You can't stop them from crying.
So, you guys are too close. You're close to Peter Obi, and you've been seeing him. I've asked Maazi Ezeoke whether there was a change or there's been a change from Peter Obi that was there in 2023 that ran and competed to the one we have now. What are you seeing, John?
You mean I'm my principal. All I can speak. P.O. spend more time in telling Nigeria what he wants to do. That is the difference. P.O. goes out to tell you what I want to do differently from this present administration. Yes, his mandate was stolen. Well, fine. No man, you can come to my house, you take my wife away, you ask me not to cry, and I'm coming to you to say, look, it's enough. I want my family back. And you're telling me, oh, I only had your family for 4 years. I want to have another 4 years. And this is the narrative. When you sit with P.O., all he keeps telling us, tell Nigeria about the good things we want to do. Tell everybody that a new Nigeria is very possible. The same people will tell you, what Tinubu cannot fix in 4 years. Look, you can destroy a country for 10 years. I've seen it happen. In 1989, when the Berlin Wall was pulled, I was in Germany. And he told us, if you've ever been to West Berlin or East Berlin is even more disastrous than what you have back home in Lagos. And they told us they are going to make the East as the West. We were laughing. We said how possible it is. This is not going to be possible. Then you see, if you hear this Leipzig, this football team, Leipzig, Halberstadt, they are East Berlin. When after 10 years, happened to visit Germany again, I took a train down there. I'm like, the East is now finer than the West. I'm talking of Europe. Within a space of 10 years, they turned things around totally. So when people are telling you, oh, he said he's going to do this in 4 years, how possible? It's because their mentality has been conned into believing that you can have light. And that's not true. I flew into Houston a few years ago when Trump just won the election. And there was this direction that in 2026, a new terminal is coming up. And I came to, I saw the terminal, brand new. I don't understand what is wrong with our leaders. And this was people, don't spend energy fighting them. Do not spend any energy like what Boala, all this paid master, Bayononuga. Don't spend your time. Don't waste the time. Just tell Nigeria, this is what is coming. This is what we want to come and do. What Nigeria should be asking is, how are you going to do it? That is the question we want people to ask him. You say you're going to give us energy in 4 years. How are you going to do it? You said corruption will be erected. How are you going to be doing? That is the question they should ask His Excellency Peter Obi. And that is what he is going about. If you see people, he's the most traveled person out all over. Tinubu has a private jet. The president has about 9 jets now. Obi fly on commercial jets. But you see him in London today, tomorrow he's in the US, next tomorrow he's in Canada, here he's moving. Moving around, consolidating Nigerians, come back home, let's work together. That is what he's doing. And that's his area of his strength, not this, give me another 4 years, that is what we are here to say.
All right. Thank you, John. Final question from me, and then we go to the people who are in the panel. Maazi Ezeoke, similar to what I asked John, there were people who left the obedient movement since the last election. How has that impacted all the groups that are trying to support Peter Obi this time?
It is quite true that some individuals have left the movement. But I guarantee you and I tell you that people know those who have left. No one speaks about those who are coming. If within the leadership of the movement we've lost 5 people, we've gained 1,000. Because people who were not believers in 2022, 2023 Hunger has taught them how to believe. Now they are willing to do the unthinkable. I can tell you, I mean, you know, in the last election, we had the various support groups, the more prominent then being the umbrella called the CPO, Coalition for Peter Obi. Fast forward in 2027, you have three movements that I refer to as a triangle to deliver this election. And like John said, before now, you know, there are people who probably didn't want to identify themselves as obedient movement. And we have people who are in the villages. When I say this, so people don't know, you know, there are things I would not at this point say, but at the back end, if you understand what is happening, that in the villages, what people on their own are doing with minimal input from us in order to give them organizational structure, in order to put things in proper perspective, you understand that, yes, there are very few individuals who have left. The saddest part is that majority of those who have left the movement are those who came for what they can get from the movement. Majority, I'm not saying all, but majority of them are those who came with certain expectations in mind, without mentioning names, and you can see that when those expectations, in most part, monetarily, is not forthcoming, they will begin to, you know, sing like a canary, and obviously know what they mean when they start doing certain things. But when you see a people that are really yearning for change and who believe that a new Nigeria is possible through His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, come what rain, come what shine. If you come to the Twitter spaces when they say, oh, there are 4 people tweeting in a room, they forget that every single Twitter account you see behind that Twitter account is a human being. And when you understand that the people are yearning, that they must do everything possible to ensure that the mistakes of 2023 will not be repeated in 2027. Hence, everybody has agreed across the strata that in 2027, the election starts, the election ends at the polling unit.
All right. Thank you so much, Maazi Ezeoke. Thank you, John. I will now let our people who are here to interact with you guys. They can ask a question or make a comment. I will give them 2 minutes each. Let me start with someone in Nigeria because it's late out there in Nigeria. Maska, let me start with you.
All right. Good evening, Mr. Rudolph. And once again, thank you for such a wonderful work you keep doing week in, week out. We appreciate you, sir. Gentlemen, Ms. Maazi and Mr. John, mine is not really a question. It's more to do with a comment. And I think it's more to do with Mr. John. I hear him talk more about what his principal will do. But I think for me, the challenge should really be much more focused on how to get him into the position in terms of I hear what Maazi is saying, that now it's going to be different. People would stay at the polling booth and make sure that whatever is counted is recorded and probably transmitted. But mine is that I think there's clarity in terms of the difference is night and day in terms of candidacy. That's not where the challenge is. The real challenge is that Nigeria is a unique environment. The fact that you are a good candidate doesn't mean that you will even be there. And I think that's where the focus for you guys should really be. Thank you. In terms of navigating the complexities of the environment, I also hear you people say that the people are hungry, people are this and that. But I'm in Nigeria also. I can tell you that the average Nigerian defies explanation. He's tired, he's hungry. there's insecurity. But you wonder why not just only the poor people, even the bulk of the elite, you wonder why people are so docile. And so these are the peculiarities I think that people that really want to create change should focus about in terms of how do we get these good people that we believe in to be in political positions of power. That would really be the challenge, not even selling them like say, oh, these are good people, these are bad people. I think it's like night and day. Everybody, every Nigerian knows that. But there has to be some sort of difference in terms of the approach, how to maneuver the unique environment. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Maska. Any of you can take it. John, I think it was more addressed to you.
Sorry, Mr. Rudolph, just so that people can understand the point I'm making. It's only in Nigeria where, for instance, the ruling we have, it's only in Nigeria you get that kind of ruling. You get the point I'm making, where a party that has not even been registered, I don't think they are registered anywhere. The question I'm asking myself, okay, so is there a place where in Nigeria you go and register a logo? Or how do you register a logo that somebody will now say, oh, I went there to register it before you register? You know, it's also, these are the unique environment we have. You know, and in a good place, a lot of people will be on the street. You don't see people come. So I think this is where the bulk of the work will be. Thank you.
All right, John, you have an answer for Maska.
Yeah, thank you very much for the contribution, and well noted. A very good point for us to take home. I think, like, let me take from the last point he said, that it's only in Nigeria you find someone that is not on the ballot paper or it's not a party goes to court. And I can explain to that fact because the first the last ruling, while it was involved with ADA, there's a party called ADA. My party I had a party called the PPA. I'm the national chairman of that party. We were 10. The party, 175 political party were registered. I mean, did application. It was drawn down to 10. In that 10, INEC shut the portal off before time. 30 days time, they took it off by the 19th day. So I went to court. The matter is still in court and appeal now today. And this is what we investigate. We understand how Nigeria works. There was an express order that no party should be registered. Because the more you have new parties, the chances you have all these better politicians have their chances of getting on the ballot. The so-called purpose, objective of this government is to make sure 100% that His Excellency Peter Obi, Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso are not on the ballot paper.
Simple.
That is what the government is after. Let me tell you today, go back to what happened to Labour Party. PO left, we have the case for almost 3 years. I mean, you all should be aware. From after election, 2023, 24, 25, up to when the day PO left that party, INEC certified the true people of the same people PO have been telling you, upload this thing. It just tells you that what they are after is Peter Obi. And there is no, look, I don't have a crime in you not having a strategy to win your opponent. There's no crime about that. But you cannot use such method, use the law, the legal, judiciary to suppress this party in question. We are calling them party, they're not party, the PM, whatever it is. They are not even an association. And the electoral guideline is very clear. If you want to apply, do not use any logo that is close to the national flag of Nigeria or a coat of armor. Do not use anything related to other political party or association. INEC will tell you it's in the guidelines. If you do that ab initio, INEC will tell you you need to change this. They will correct you. So these people in question, they are not even an association. They are not a political party. The question you now ask, why is the law, why is the court granting them that hearing? And that's what we are saying, that look, the language that these people understand is the language at which they work. You cannot be speaking French and I'm speaking English. We won't understand each other. So, and it's easy to speak French. We are telling you that we can understand French too. If you want us to speak French, we will speak the French language. And that's what we're saying.
All right, thank you so much. Let's take another question, this time from Ovie.
Maazi, okay.
Sorry, I can't hear.
What? Am I audible now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go
All
ahead.
right. Maazi, okay. You try. You
We're
came
supposed to
close.
have a very good network in your country here, Dr. Ruford. I don't understand.
Most of them are not in America. You have to also understand. Ovie is somewhere in between Mexico and Tanzania.
At least this is not Nigeria.
No, but we can hear him. We can hear him, John. We can hear him. Maybe it's where you are. Ovie, go ahead. Ovie, go ahead. All right. See what I said. Ovie is gone. All right. Let's go to Olu. Olu, welcome to the show.
I don't know what time it is. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, morning. Where are you? Where are you? I don't
I'm
think
in the UK. I'm in the UK. I'm in Manchester.
Okay. All right.
I'm hoping one day I'm gonna eventually meet the guy called Maazi. I'm a Yoruba guy, yeah, and I have been following Nigerian politics for the best part of 22 years. One of the reasons why I actually left the UK, one of the reasons why I left the UK, I left for the UK was actually interestingly because of the same guy who's the president of the country now. So 26 years ago, I knew of the shenanigans they were basically doing back in Nigeria, in Lagos, when they were sort of calling themselves Democrats, which we knew they weren't. And they were just pseudo military boys who basically took advantage of the system. I'm quite glad as to what you guys are doing. I follow so fervently. I watch every news. It's almost like I do kind of appreciate that the fact that you guys are understanding the game as far as they play it and knowing when they're gonna strike. I was expecting this, interestingly. It's almost as if I can predict every of their moves. Even interestingly, what they did was the actual target, obviously, which you've alluded to, was the NDC. It was always Peter Obi. And it was almost like troll debate regarding this registration of the 5 parties. See how they react when the actual court judgment that we're going to get is for the NDC. And if you notice, one of the things that, if you guys look at the little details that are not spelled, if you remember, the first trial for ADC was antebellum. Did you notice that wasn't mentioned today in the court ruling? As opposed to saying that, they said status quo. Secondly, the ruling came when? On a Friday. Why? Because they expect, oh, good Lord, if we did it on the midweek, when they did the ADC Accord Party deregistration, the next day they were able to go to appeal and they got a ruling that nullified that ruling. So we'll do it on a Friday. While they're thinking about it, we can go, that is another sort of tactics that they're using. This is where they call their, you know, when they make reference to the fact that Tinubu is strategic or strategy master, what do they call it?
Master strategist.
Master strategist.
Yes.
That is exactly what they're referring to. Because if you notice him, and if anybody has done any study about him in the last 22 years, yeah, he's the king of faction tactics. Because when he came, everyone, if you know a lot about him, when he came in 1999, and he came to Lagos, and he was compensated for the Lagos governorship role because of how he supported the Nadeco while they were in America. And during that course was when Ghani filed a case against him, knowing that, oh, hang on a second, who are you? Where are you from? Your identity and everything, and basically killed it. And all of a sudden, created a faction in Afenifere because it basically sidelined the Afenifere leaders. Secondly, created a faction in Adeco because that's the own style of politics. Then they'll send moles into all the different parties. You know, whatever party that there is, he always has people basically working in there for him, get him first-hand information, what your plans are, what your moves are, and how basically they're going to attack you. And what is interesting is I've been watching ever since, and I've had this argument with multiple people, and I said, the problem that he has is that Tinubu can't win an election. And he knows. If you notice, most of the advertisement is not about the people. It's not about the people giving him the mandate. It's all about governors, structure, as opposed to the actual people that are going to give the mandate. And what's interesting, I found out, and I've kind of studied over the last 3-4 years, is the fact that, interestingly, how do you start attacking someone that you said came third? And everything he says and everything you're looking at. Because guess what? The only person that knows the true result from last 4 years or 3 years plus is Tinubu and his cohort. They know the true result and they know they lost. And unfortunately, one of the things that he's done in his calculation and strategy is supposedly the numbers he thought he got from the north, he knows he can't get that number again to validate their rigging. He knows he's not going to win the South-South. He knows he's not going to win the Southeast. The Southwest, he hasn't got the numbers. But what do? I have to compete against myself. So what do? I attack all the parties. Who can split the votes from the north that I can't get? Oh, Atiku. All right. I'm not really bothered about him because I can basically beat that hands down. But who's the next person that I'm going to go for? This guy who has got an organic movement that it's not influenced by money, by the politics we play, and the style of politics we play. But I know definitely, you've got one thing I always cherish and I always advocate, even whilst I'm in UK, is the fact that I know Nigerians are very, very intelligent people, very intelligent. And one of the biggest challenges he has, if you look at history, this is almost a repeat of what happened in 1998. Similar to the Abacha style of one man, every party was basically advocating for him and he was wanting to become the president, and then he died because of it. Same thing. Go study what happened in 1998 and you can see the same pattern, same stuff, same approach as to how he's basically hoping to get to there. But what I would say, and I know, everybody's all agitated, concerned and everything, and I love the fact that the NDC structure and the OK movement have kind of spelled it out to tell people to calm down and basically address it. But be careful, because it's not just the Tinubu structure you're fighting with. You're fighting with organized criminals who have taken sway of the system. One of the things that you would notice, is that one of the things that I would say has been a benefit in terms of him becoming president is because after becoming president, a lot of the enemy of Nigeria came to the surface. Anybody, I kid you not, anybody that supports this criminality, is a criminal. Anybody. Right. And just be aware of that, and then take note of it, and then hopefully, I'm hoping this is just a tip of the iceberg, because you're still going to have more battles to fight between now and January. I guarantee you.
All right, thank you, Olu. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Maazi, is okay. You want to respond to anything he said, or should we take another question or comment from?
I think Olu, thank you very much for your comments. Olu, I mean, not necessarily a question. He made his own contribution. So I understand. Hopefully, one of these days, when the election starts, when campaign starts, and we start moving around, hopefully, one of these days, we'll get to meet each other. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Maazi. John, do you want to respond? Did you hear what Olu said?
If you can hear me, I just had the last part. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I just had the last part of telling us more problems to come. We should be ready, prepare for that. I lost all the whole. So I have to go on this to be able to catch up. I have to sign up, sign in again. I wasn't getting you guys.
Thank you, John. Let's continue. We'll get to other people and get back to you. Let's hear Ovie. Let's see if Ovie can finish up his thoughts. We had a little bit. Ovie, can you hear me?
Rudolph, Ovie is still frozen. Can you take a woman, please?
Okay. There's a reason why okay. If they want to, welcome to the show.
Good evening, Maazi. And this is what I go through every day with Papudoka. He will always put me to speak last. You know, this issue of women first is not it's not for him. You know, thank you for my comment.
In the new Nigeria, women are prioritized. That's why I asked him.
Don't mind me. I'm just joking. Don't worry about that. So good evening, everybody. Hi, John. I live in Atlanta too. So my opinion might be different, honestly speaking. One thing I've consistently said on this channel, whether we are actually practicing democracy, and if this is democracy, that means if this is what democracy is all about, that means we don't need it. It's not gonna work for us, or rather, it's not working for us. I've consistently said.
I can't hear. I can still hear.
John, we can hear you. Why don't you on Bluetooth uncouple your Bluetooth?
Kind of. Listen, I can't seem to sign in.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. So I have always said that democracy is not for Africa. Literally, I mean, if you look at Rwanda, look at Cameroon, and then other African countries. I can't even tell you. Maybe South Africa, maybe Ghana. You know, I would say that they, have conduct free and fair election. Coming to what is happening in Nigeria, of course, we are not surprised. Honestly speaking, I don't know why. If anybody think this is a surprise, that means the person doesn't know what is happening in Nigeria politics. We all saw this coming. And this is what I will say. Honestly speaking, and a lot of people might disagree with me, the only thing that will remove Tinubu out of power is death and foreign power. My opinion, just my opinion. You might not agree with me. And, we all know that the judiciaries, they are bought. They are in his pocket. Let's even say that if, of course, if you're wasting your time thinking that you're going to go to court or go to, to challenge Tinubu's election, of course, in the appeal court, who owns the appeal court? Wike owns the appeal court. Wike's wife is one of the judges. And imagine, like you guys said, imagine somebody built this house and gave it to you, something you never imagined that you will ever live in your whole life. And the person bring a case to you and you're going to rule against the person. I don't see that happening, honestly. In as much as I so much want Peter Obi to win, I believe he won the last election. I wanted to move back to Nigeria with the hope, in the last election. Unfortunately, that did not, go as planned. I believed that Tinubu, I said, okay, let's give him a chance. Maybe he will do something. And he is just a disaster. I mean, he's a failure. We are, we've seen that. And Tinubu knows that he's not going to win this election. That's why he's doing everything humanly possible to make sure that Peter Obi is not on the ballot. This NDC deregistration, it's not about the party. It's just to make sure that Peter Obi, by fire, by crook, is not going to be on the ballot. So at this point, I think it's okay to say that Tinubu needs to declare himself a winner without even conducting an election. Because when you guys say something like it's going to be the election, we're going to be at the polling unit, that's where they're going to declare the results. If you declare the results, who are you going to declare it to? INEC or to who? I don't know how that's going to work. But anyway, Nigerians, they haven't suffered enough. My sister, who is also a lawyer, said that, see, if you are one Nigerians, I want Tinubu to win the election. And I asked her why, and guess what she said? So that by the time everybody will feel the austerity, everybody will be like a lion biting each other. That is when we're going to feel it. But for now, to say that you still have people, a group of people, a large number of people still supporting Tinubu, we are not yet serious in Nigeria. To see that, that kids were kidnapped and the president hasn't even uttered a statement from his mouth, I don't see that happening. Put me wrong. If Peter Obi, if he gets on the ticket, if he wins the election, I will come here and apologize to you guys. But with what I'm seeing going on in Nigeria, there is no way out. Tinubu is going to concede. Tinubu wasn't the president when he won the election, and now he has the seat of power in his house. You think he's going to sit down there? Let me tell you, and I believe what KJ said last week. KJ said Tinubu is going to win the next election by rigging, not by winning. And when he gets there, they're going to propose the one-term 6-year tenure, and then from there, he's going to be a president for life, just like what is happening in Cameroon. So I might be wrong, honestly speaking, but nobody can convince me until I see that happen. Just my contribution.
Thank you, Ife. I don't think there's a question there unless, John, did you hear anything? John, you cannot hear still. All right. What I will do is I'll call John and put him on speakerphone for him to make a contribution if at any point he wants. So, Maazi, do you have anything to say, or should we go to the next?
Well, I think if it's, in my view, maybe after the last election is becoming more pessimistic, and maybe it might be fair to say becoming a victim of the last election, or a victim of the trauma of the last election. Quite sad. I hear you, and I hear you loud. But if history is anything to go by, and we go back to when the forebearers fought the colonial masters, they had nothing. But they had one thing. They had the belief that they can do the unthinkable, and they can make it uncomfortable until this then quote-unquote pests. They were, taking care of, the things in a not too good way until they leave the scene. And they did it. Of course, understanding the criminal mindedness of those in government, knowing that, yes, in 2023, those who now control the political apparatchik are not there, or they haven't got that same control. But abiding and listening to you, or trying to follow your advice, will mean fold our arms and let them do whatever they want, and let's put no fight. It's like when a woman sees a very huge individual and thinks, oh, this individual appears to be a boxer or someone who goes to the gym. And that individual wants to abuse the woman. Oh, because I've seen some muscles, then I can put no fight. Without knowing that with a single kick at the right place, that individual becomes immobilized. And that's the best narrative that can pull up to say that with the right mindset that we are collectively building, with the right mindset that Nigerians here at the ground zero, with those who are in the diaspora, giving them moral support to say, we have a fight to put on for the sake of the next generation. Many people who are over 50, I do not know how long they have, based on the, I mean, those who live, those who are lucky to live. I'm not in Atlanta, but those who are lucky to be in Atlanta, as I've been hearing Atlanta, I'm beginning to be jealous of Atlanta now. To know, to live a place where if there is anything, their life could be extended by the virtue of the fact that they have some Medicare that can take care of them. But not in this part of the world that sometimes when I sit in my country home and I ask myself, at this stage, that I'm sometimes scared. Not scared that anything can happen to me, but scared that if I have an emergency now, in this wee hour of the night, no one would ever come out, talk less of having a workable hospital to take you for, even if it's the primary health care, not talk of secondary. So with these thoughts, and to think that we would then fold our arms and say, oh, he will win the election. No, now, we are not cowards. We must put up a fight, and that's why we say, this time around, once bitten, twice shy. In 2023, we took the matters to the judicial umpire. In 2027, it must start and end in the polling unit. I yield. Thank you. John, you're back. Can you now hear?
Yeah, I can hear you guys now. I can hear you talking about Atlanta. I don't know why you're in love with Atlanta.
I don't know. All of you, 3 of you appear to be in Atlanta. So whether or not one send me visa, make I come Atlanta too.
All right, thank you. John, do you want to add something to what Maazi said?
I had, I respect her opinion very well, and she has spoken from the angle of a woman, and I take it back. When women are always in charge of safety. When you're fighting, most especially when you are being beaten in your school every time back home, the least they can tell you, look, why don't just settle and just allow for peace? Because they are peaceful people. But for men, we raise our ego and say, no, you can beat me today, I'm coming tomorrow, you keep beating me. One day, I want to win this fight. That's how men are designed. Right. That's how we're wired. And this whole idea of, I was speaking to the late Padi Banjo, the head of Afenifere, and he told me his pains is that he gave Tinubu the first opportunity to become the governor of Lagos State on the basis of, oh, this is a man from the record, the man that came all the way from United States, that hailed the Nedeko movement. That was just it. And that man was in pain till he went to his grave. So also with Padi Banjo, Ibrahim Adesonya, because the man kept saying, oh, I destroyed Lagos State by myself, by allowing Tinubu to be the governor of Lagos State. And the law says there are no permanent champion. You have a reigning champion. Back in the days, you have the Russia, which is a Soviet Union, as a world superpower. You have the Netherlands, you have the Roman Empire. Now we talk about the United States. So power might not be with you forever. If you first of all understand that principle, you know that Tinubu is not unbeatable. When I mean not unbeatable, regardless of what is going to spend, the state's resources, the state agencies, the security, whatever he's got. But take it like I said, if you can shift your mind out of the OK movement, out of the village boy, from the obedience, focus your mind on the people. That is when you understand that the power that Nigeria owns, the measures, I can begin to quantify it. Yes, he will fight. Yes, he will resist. But the truth is that this government that we are will change. This same government today will be removed. Nigerians will take them out. Just take my word. Nigeria are ready. And they are, whatever means, they are going to take them out. So the narrative of Tinubu will do this 6 years and all this, those are just drama, those are just narrative to persuade us or to confuse an average Nigerian. It's not working.
All right. Thank you so much, John. Thank you, Ife. Let's go to Stay Humble. Obi, we try you again, but not now. Stay Humble. You're next.
He's an humble man. We'll have take a day.
Let's go.
Humble.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
I stumbled on this. I didn't know we'll be out tonight. Well, I had a premonition once I saw the news that the registration of the NDC had been nullified by the court. Yeah. I think I'll be the first person that will ask you a question at the end of the day. But yeah, I just want to give a timeline. So we've seen a lot of things with this Bola Tinubu establishment, and let's not pretend that Bola Tinubu and his gang, that they are independent-minded people. Yes, some of the machinations are of their own making, but of course, no matter how we want to pretend, or no matter how we call it conspiracy theories, we know that Nigeria is firmly controlled from outside Nigeria. And there is nothing that we see today that's not happened. It's just that we are very poor students of history. There is no rigging strategy that has been deployed by these corrupt elements that not happened in the past. Even before independence, you saw what the British did with the elections, what they did with the censuses. So all these things are just scripts. If you've not read what happened in Western Nigeria in the 60s, please go and read them. There is nothing happening today. There is nothing that happened in 2023 that did not happen in the 60s in Western Nigeria. The elections of Western Nigeria, Wild West, and the Operation Wetia, etc. So, and then also, if you follow the Olusegun Obasanjo administration, that was a school of rigging. You know, Obasanjo built a school of rigging. There is nothing. What they are doing today is child's play. I remember in Anambra State, when the result was announced in 2007, the number of votes that Andy Uba was said to have won was more than the number of registered voters. That time, nobody was even voting. They would cut off your hands. It was mayhem. It was bedlam. So what we are seeing today is child's play. And, you know, let us not just paper over the cracks. Let us not just theorize. Let us not hypothesize. Let us come out with strategies, not just strategies, in tackling the puppets, but also the unseen hands who are controlling. Because you and I know that even the federal government no longer sells crude oil, no longer generates income for Nigeria through the sale of crude oil, because all the crude oil in Nigeria, they've been mortgaged. You know that. Buhari borrowed billions of dollars. What do you think he used as collateral? He used crude oil and solid minerals. And even some of the places where those solid minerals are, they are sleeping with their two eyes closed today. They don't even know that tomorrow someone will knock on their door, boy, and say, oh boy. And they will not just knock on their door. What you will hear, first of all, is that 50 people have been kidnapped. School children. School children, the whole villagers would run away. And after some months or some years, they'll be mining whatever. There are so many solid minerals in Nigeria, of course, They are not going to do geography here. But the point I want to stress is, we've talked about all the problems. Sometimes people say that the electoral system, we need electoral reforms. We need to do the, come on, we have the most sophisticated electoral system in the world. In the whole world, Nigeria has the most sophisticated electoral system. The only thing in Nigeria is that the politicians and the people they work for outside Nigeria do not want the votes to count. I voted in the United Kingdom. It was basically manual. It is basically manual. But because it's a system where votes count. We have all sorts of technology, beavers, IREV, come on. Still the votes are not counting. Now, I want to ask you a question. Because we are now talking law, legal, this, that. The next step, what's the next step after these razzmatazz? We'll go to court. Maybe we'll go to appeal court. They say, okay, we are appealing. You see, these people, if you want to go through the court, what if on the eve of the election, they go to one kangaroo court and say that Peter Obi is not qualified to be a candidate, and that's a day to the election? What will you do? Look, I think it's high time we put these people to where they belong. Okay, and the Nigerian people have the capacity to throw these people out of government. They have the capacity to do that, but they are not doing that. So, gentlemen, what will you do if on the eve of the election, they say that Peter Obi or the NDC, that they are not going to participate in the election? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Stay humble. Maazi and John, any of you can take it, or I'll give two of you a chance to respond. John, Maazi, anyone can start.
Thank you, Mr. Stay Humble. That is not humble. Thank you. There in I don't know if you understand the military background. There are some conversation you can have in an open section like this. In security, even in my conversation, in my communication on this program, there are some words I will not use. Do you get what I'm saying now? I will try as much as possible to be guided by the direction of the moderator, so as not to get him in any situation or myself. You understand what I'm trying to say now? Now, I will not go on air and tell you, well, on the eve of election, if His Excellency or Rabiu Kwankwaso are being removed on the ballot, I'll have a handshake and go home. That is what you want to hear. And I will not tell you that, oh, we're not going to accept it. We'll be chanting, we're not going to agree, or we start issues. I will not going to say that. But like I said, as the national DG of the OK movement, that won't happen. That's not going to happen. You see, let me tell you, even when you are driving, you have, say, you have 5 people in your car, and your seatbelt is on. You want to crash that car. You will still be very careful that people that seatbelt doesn't protect you from total protection. Do you get what I'm saying now? It only prevents you not to get off, not to be flared out of the car. But doesn't mean that the shock, the disaster that is coming upon that car won't affect you. Do you get what I'm saying now? So the people themselves understand that you don't want to trigger a situation. You don't want anything unrest in Nigeria. If the last country you want in this planet, on this planet Earth, to have any civil unrest is Nigeria. No country in the whole world that can absorb 1 million people, 1 million Nigeria, even this America that is making noise that they are sending people out of the country. If Donald Trump likes, let him fence the wall globally 200 meters to the sky. Nigerians will find their way back into this America. And you don't want that. Do you get what I'm saying now? You don't want anything unrest. There's a limit you will push. Yes, they are texting the ground. Let's see what they will see. Let's see what this. Let's see. If you are, I don't know how old you are. If you are told that the military will go back to the barrack, will you ever believe? I grew up in the time of the military. Do you get what I'm saying now? I dine, I work with them, I live with them, I eat with them. If we are told that the generals will go back to the base where they ought to have been since the 70s, if you are told that they will leave, will you ever believe? So that is where we are coming to. The same thing. There will be a time, just let's leave it there. We know that's not going to happen. What we are saying is that the election will take place at the polling unit. Results will be counted at the polling unit. Results will be announced at the polling unit. Jubilation and celebration will take place at that same polling unit. If you want to have a handshake with me, if you lose, fine. If I want to have a handshake with you, if I lose, fine. But you will not drag me to anywhere called, is it court you guys call it? Is it the tribunal you call it? I don't have that energy. I don't have that money. I don't have that passion. I don't believe. I don't trust. What I trust is that tell me what I have. Are you get what I'm saying now? How can you write an exam in uni? Results are being pasted on the doorstep of your. Do you get what I'm saying now? No, you can't tell me after exam, come and see me in my bedroom. Come and check your result at home. Come and check your result in the restaurant. I didn't write the result, the exam there. So that won't happen. Take that home. Tell anybody that won't happen, and that's our position.
All right. Thank you, John. Maazi, any addition?
You know, Rudolph, it appears you are perfect because you already answered the question that he asked. When you started this segment, you played a clip of an interview I had with you, I believe, in 2023. And therein I said that when you push a goat to the wall, you find out that goats can also bite. Let the government bring it on. At that point, Nigerians will decide how they want to deal with that. That will be my answer. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Maazi. It's okay. So, Ovie.
Yes, a short question I get for my comrade. Maazi, okay, I don't get a question, but I have something for you. But Dr. Dameji, first of all, to you, I think I am going to fail you in my class, this electoral cycle. Because we don't talk this thing for class. I've been saying it that 2027 is about Obi presidency. Now only Obi get time for Maazi in one come out to every other power that be or candidate is aiming their gun at Obi. So this is just the beginning. that everybody is going to face Obi, all the political party, is to keep Obi presidential ambition before 2031. If they can make it happen before 2027, so be it. I've been saying this since the beginning. Now, what is happening is a classical politics 202, right? The goal here is to drain them of their resources, their money, their airtime, right? They will spend money, they begin go court, begin just waste unnecessary time and resources. And the beginning, even you say, talk and say, you and Ezeoke don't plan this thing for the past 3 weeks to come and talk about the village boys. See it, about the court, now dominate the conversation. So that is the whole game. For now on, they would explain, they would defend. That's time that's supposed to be dedicated on strategizing how to go from word to word, from polling unit to polling unit, how to put all that things together. So it's this is the game. There's nothing about this. If they're in the same position, they will do. If they have the capacity to do it, they'll do the same thing. But to Ezeoke, you always almost convert me to village boss. You came close because when you and Dr. Dameji were metastasizing about the shrine on your way to Nkolomifa village, you know, by Okai, I know. And I felt something. I said, this man is going somewhere because that place is very special to my heart. Then when you begin answer Ifi, then you begin say our ancestor did not have anything, did not fight anything. That's where something triggers. I say, what are you talking about? I'm from Benin Kingdom. We won the first round. Go and ask the British Empire. We beat them the first round again. It was the second round they defeated us. And the third round they subjected us to the Nigerian state. Here we are. So, but your partner say, man, as a man, just we get ego. We live to fight again. I don't get a question for you because I don't want to be disappointed because Dr. Damage, if you remember, Kenneth Okonkwo was here and I asked him, that was by 6 months after 2023, and I asked him that he has done remarkably well. His name is out there, he's sellable. Expect the obedient movement should be on every Nigerian campus, on street and everything. His response was like, don't worry, we are underground, we are doing something. We'll come out and hit you people, boy. And 6 months later, he hit me with something that I've not recovered yet. He left the obedience. The same question I posted to Aisha, he almost said the same things as if they are reading the script. But before I know, she was jumping from one party to another. So I know ask a Ezeoke question, make a come here, say 6 hours from now, he's suing Obi, Obi this one. So to my brother Joshua, the comrade, I am one person that also will not make it to the finish line with Obi. That is the OK movement. That is not going to deputize him. That is going to drop at the long run. Now, if that be the case, who are the potential alternatives who wanna get if you are in a position to, if there's any conversation around that line at all? What is the alternative to Kwankwaso in case follow Obi through? What are the potentials?
John, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Okay, before John unmutes, John, please unmute. Ovia, I think by the virtue of your internet playing karo on you, you obviously did not understand my submission. I did not say that my forebearers did not fight. I said when I was replying Ife that if my forebearers folded their arms and did not fight, they wouldn't have gotten what they got. So it's a different thing. I never, and I cannot say that my forebearers didn't fight. They did. So, maybe that point, your internet took you to the Bermuda Triangle. By the time you came back, the things I was saying sounded alien to your ears. John, you may respond to him.
Thank you. John, go ahead.
So I enjoy the script that they just played out now. To me, I call it drama. And Maazi knows very well. There are some issues I don't bother deliberating or explaining, most especially when it comes to politics. Now, this is the whole idea. His Excellency Peter Obi and Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso Musa had a previous discussion in 2023 that did not work out. And I can ask this question openly. I'm bold enough to ask. Show me one ticket right now in Nigeria that you, even at your dancing floor or your musical studio, that you can point out and say, these two gentlemen, this is who I would recommend that is even as close. I'm not saying better, as close to them. If you just mention these are the two people that you can recommend to Nigeria, because we went on air, we chose this movement. We told Nigeria, if you go back to Arise News, Central News Central, we've been talking about this ticket way before the announcement. We were telling Nigeria, these are the two gentlemen. These are the reason behind it. This is what they stand for. This is what they want to give Nigeria. So I'm not here to tell you if Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso said it's not deputizing Obi. That's what I'm saying. No. You see, let me tell you, if you're going to war, are you get what I'm saying now? You don't plan exit back home. Let me repeat it to you. If you're sent to the war front, they don't tell you, oh, during the war, when it's hot, pass River Niger to run back home. You're not going to war. If you're going to war, you are going to war to conquer and choose the normal route out. That is when you're going to war. Nigeria is at war. Understand it. War of criminality, war of poverty, war of, just name it, insecurity. And here you have people that is coming to rescue them out. You can't call me to say, oh, if this one says he's not doing what. Look, ask for the ones you mentioned. Let me take you back to Kenneth Okonkwo or whatever name you mentioned. We are human beings. Understand that first, even before you become a politician. Kenneth Okonkwo is somebody I respect very well. He's a perfect gentleman. Is that his own belief? Now the question, if his belief is not conforming with the ideology of Peter Obi, he has the right to leave.
Exactly.
Don't see it as a show off. Don't see it as a drama. He's a human being. If you believe that when you can take bribe, and I said no, I can't take. You can accuse me for that, and I can't condemn you for that either. So he has chosen his pathway. Our focus is winning the election. Our focus is not on who lives, who says this, who is going to live tomorrow, prediction. That is not our focus. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, my friend. You understand it? So that is where we are, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Let me. I know that we have one more person. We have Sully. But before I call him up, let me remind those who are watching at home that on Sunday on 90 Minutes Africa, we are going to welcome Mike Arnold, who was former mayor of Blanco, Texas. He will join us to talk about Nigeria's killing fields, genocide, propaganda, or a nation in denial. So if you can join us on Sunday at 1:30 p.m. New York time or 6:30 p.m. Nigerian time, we will appreciate that. All right, Sully, you're next.
Yes. So me, I don't have question, but I just have some statements. All I see is delusions of grandeur. You know, a form of self-importance, saying that Tinubu is coming after Obi because Obi is he has the real results. He saw that Obi won, blah blah blah. So if an Atiku supporter says that, will you take them serious? Or if Sowore supporter comes here and say that, oh, Tinubu is coming after him because he saw the results, and all these positions are just delusions of grandeur. You just making yourself feel important. You don't look at any other person. Is any other person facing the same thing as me? You don't care, because in your eyes they are not human beings to you. They are like goats. The same way you came to NDC, you saw people there, you shifted them to the side, you took over the place. They don't mean nothing to you, because in your mind you feel like you are more important than them. When I came here before and I said that Tinubu strategy is to put your head in water and bring your head out to breathe a little bit, most of them were in the comment section. The smart Nigerians that you claim that Nigerians are smart, the smart Nigerians were in the comment section insulting me, crying. Their best strategies is to insulting me, crying, calling me a PC supporter. At the end of the day, is that not what he's doing? He has been using this strategy for decades, right? But for some, I don't know reason, his strategy is always shocking you. His strategy is always surprising you. And then it gives you delusion of grandeur, makes you feel important, like, oh, he's targeting me, so I must be that important. He's not targeting you. He always leaves every stone unturned. You are the one that is always waiting. You don't see him. He waits for you to do something, and then he reacts every single time. When you do something, it is always to his advantage. Why can't you use his attacks to your own advantage? This attack by this what's the name, peace party or whatever it is just a distraction, and you are falling for the game every single time because you are so unprepared, right? After this one passes, there will be the next one. Are you prepared for the next one? No. You will be caught off guard again as usual, and then you say, oh, he's coming after us because we are that important. He knows we are going to win. You are not the only one. Currently, Showore is arrested. He's in court. He's going to jail. Are you telling me that Tinubu knows that he's going to win the election? That's why Tinubu like you really have to have some sort of delusion to believe all these things that you are saying. You are easily distracted, and this guy is successfully distracting you. You are so unprepared. You have left you are not leaving every stone unturned. You are sitting down with house girl mentality. That means you are so used to everyone doing the job for you. You just want to sit down and expect everything to be smooth. This guy is always attacking every opposition. You are not that special. The problem is that you are unprepared, plain and simple. And you have so many excuses for this. You have how many months till the election? Do you think this is going to be the last attack? So what is your defense for the next attack? Once they give you your next attack, you get totally distracted, you forget about your election, you forget about pushing your candidate, and then you fall for the next trick. You take all your power and start facing that next trick again. You are going to be on the ballot. They are not removing you, don't worry. They are just distracting you and wasting your time, and you are falling for it every single time because you have delusions of grandiose, plain and simple. That's just it. And he knows this. If I can predict Tinubu, and I'm not even a politician, why can't Obi predict his next moves? Who are the people that he's surrounded by? Are they so stupid that they can't help him or advise him? I'm sitting down here and I could have given him a better strategy. So that means that the people that are surrounded by him are just chopping his money, just like Atiku. Atiku boys, they love Atiku so much. Anytime Atiku goes for election, they cash out so much. They love him. Even me, I wish I was working for Atiku. I'll just be cashing out every 4 years. I just need to see what he wants to hear.
Thank you. Thank you, Sully. Maazi, you can respond? Or you want me?
No, I will let that slide. There are certain postulations I would not be responding to. I take it that he's right. He's spot on. So I'll let that slide.
All right, John, you want to respond?
To me, I don't know if it was a statement he's making. It was a question to say, I don't think any of us have told Nigerians that we weren't expecting this or we don't have a strategy for them. So whatever he's saying is at his own, sorry, he has the right to his own fair saying and hearing himself. I still thank him for even making an attempt to express himself.
All right. Thank you, Solly. Let's go to Femi. Femi, you were here before you disappeared. Welcome back.
Good evening, everyone. Maazi, Ahedo, welcome again. And to John, I believe this is the very first time I'm listening to you. And in as much as I also have my own alternate opinion, I am encouraged by the fact that irrespective of where anyone stands, at least two of you, that's Maazi and yourself, actually doing something, for lack of another phrase. Because I do understand and I respect the fact that it's not enough to postulate or to suggest. Actions matter. But that said, I find it difficult as much as I kind of like align with a lot of what both of you have said. I find it very difficult and in tandem with what my sister, our dear sister Ifi, said earlier. I don't know where you get this belief from. Although I would like to be wrong, because this is not even a case of being right or wrong. It's a case of fighting for the soul of Nigeria in whatever shape or form as it stands as of today, and even Africa, because it's become even more evident to me now that so long as we continue to remain Nigeria, that there's a lot that's riding on the back of Nigeria as a country in terms of the black man, black woman, black child, not just in Africa, probably even in as far back as in Brazil, in Colombia, in the Caribbean. What makes you think that with the way things are structured, with all the instruments of power, with the INEC, both front end, back end, middle end, we don't, as a matter of fact, I don't even know what to even practice anymore because it's just a craziness. What makes you have this belief that just like Mr. John alluded to about what happened during the military is true, that what happened and a lot of us never believe it could come to. Where are you getting this belief? Because me, I want to drink that juju water that both of you have. I want to believe as well, if I'm being honest. But where are you getting this belief from? I just want to be convinced. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Femi. Yeah, let's hear from Maazi. Okay, I think you're the only one left. John just left.
He said, Femi, you somewhat answered your own question when you started, that no matter how hard it appears, you cannot abandon the disabled somewhat, obviously. Now, because we have a system that does not function in our views, and because we have a government that appears to have cornered everything, now I ask again, and that's my response to Ife earlier. Does that mean we have to fold our arms and just stand akimbo and let the abuse continue? Or should we put up a fight with our best to, rescue and sanitize what is left? The question is not only for myself and John to answer, but every single person who believes that what we have now is not the best that we can. Let's bear in mind that even many of us that have, scattered around the world and living comfortably in one country or the other, we must not forget that at some point in time, those countries had their challenges and they didn't overcome it by just, going a war. They had to confront it. If you take, for instance, Egypt today, before during the, what's it called, the Arab Spring, their president then, not many people believed that in their lifetime that they would see him go, because he transformed from, he's been there for a long time. But when the young Egyptian took to the street, occupied the street, and something happened, if they didn't do that, maybe until his death, he would have been their president. If I just oppose that to where we are in Nigeria, because one man has access and is now the president of the republic, therefore we must abide by whatever he thinks and he does, no matter how what and how he abuses us. We and I are here in this country when the incident that happened in Plateau happened, and the president of the republic flies into a state where lives were lost and looks at the people in their faces and tell them, I'm basically doing us a favor to be here. Oh, there is no road or there is no light or what not. I cannot leave this airport. And we are talking about where over 4 dozens of individuals, teachers, students, being kidnapped. And there is no state of emergency. He has not addressed you to say, here are our kids, and this is the plan for us to get these kids out. We are not angry enough to question him on these things, but we're turning around to say, why are you guys still bothered in rescuing this, in trying to get things done right? It is, and it must be on record, that there are people, call it delusion, grandeur, call it whatever name, nomenclature you want. There are people who have risen up to say, we say no to this mess and to this madness. We must, not we may, we must recover the whatever that is left of this nation. We do not have 2 nations. For Christ's sake, I do not want, when I leave this Mother Earth, to be buried elsewhere, but in my place of birth. And my place of birth today, you probably didn't join when I say, when I sit in my ancestral home at night, with all the comfort that he can afford me, but I'm scared because I ask myself, if I do have any emergency, now what happens to me? Likely nothing. I may not make it in the morning. Is that a life that's befitting for any human in that place? No. All we're saying is that we can make it better. We can get a bunch of people that are dedicated, that are willing to say, no, things must not continue in this trajectory. Of course, there is no doubt that all the woes that we see today is not caused by this government. Previous government, the PDP, Buhari government, have their own. Sadly, the one that we have in the last 3 years has compounded it, not really necessarily solving it. Therefore, we are saying collectively as Nigerians, including you, those who feel that, well, things are not right. Let's collectively make this happen. Let's do it. And we're out there walking the talk, saying we need like minds to say this must stop. It has nothing to do with ethnicity, where one comes from, because it doesn't matter if you are from the southwest, if you're from the southeast, if you're from the south, if you're from the northeast, north central, and if you're from the northwest. There is no place where you buy bread cheaper. There is no place where they will say, oh, I'm going to sell Maazi bread for 200 naira because he's supporting Obi. Or Ovie. No one, if Ovie visits Nigeria, there is no place the kidnappers will say, okay, before we kidnap you, can I ask you, are you supporting Tinubu? If you're supporting Tinubu, we'll leave you. The insecurity, whatever that is happening in Nigeria, it's affecting every single one of us. Then to your question, I would rather consider it more rhetorical than, being straightforward to say, I think in, being genuine and being truthful to ourselves, we know that things are not, getting it, things are not working. And where we get the energy and where we get the zeal is when we look at every single day, things are depreciating. I mean, let's not start with fuel. Let's not start with Naira dollar disparity. Let's not talk about insecurity. For Christ's sake, in this country, there was a time I used night bus. I'm not saying my father, I'm not saying my brother, I'm saying I used night bus to leave Onitsha with New Tazan or Ezenwata to Yola to Gombe. Can we do it today without every single person in that place kidnapped into the bush? What has gone wrong? In this nation, there was a time as a student, the only time we move is at night. You go in, you board your flight, you sleep. The only time you come out is when we come out to Wokari, we come to eat, buy chicken and eat fantastic egusi soup. The next time you get out of that bus to pee will be when you get to Zakebiam. Or rather, getting into Taraba, then into Yola, Jimeta. For those that want to go down to Mobi, they continue. When those that have, stepped down at Jimeta would have come down. Those that want to go to Medugri, they will continue. But today, it appears to be something that is out of out of this world. There was a time, now every single person that is a person of means, no one travels from Lagos to the east by road. Just a few years ago, it is a route that when we leave Lagos, we must stop at Edo, Benin City, to buy pineapple and to buy on the road. Either you buy the plantain that we sell on the road, and you buy your pineapple and you buy your gari. But these things appear today to be luxury. Not in Edo that you're safe. Not in Adamawa that you're safe. Not in my state of Anambra or anywhere in the southeast. To a point that many of us have resorted to moving with keke in order to be alive. That's where I get my energy to say, no, I didn't grow up in this environment, in this mess. Doing everything possible with my brothers and my sisters to say that, no, we can fix this. If not for anything, for our children. It's not right that the only way you can travel today in Nigeria is by air. You're not going, even from the airport to your house, you're still not safe. So my dear good brother, it is a collective. I encourage you and enjoin you, please lend your hand to make sure that we change the narrative in 2027. If Peter Obi comes in as a president and after 2-3 years he doesn't, quote me anytime, anywhere, I will lead the campaign to say, Oga, no be like this, we'll talk. This is not what you promised Nigerians. We must be able to look at our leaders and tell them this is not what they promised. I yield. Thank you.
Mr. Rudolph, please let me just add something to before Mr. John comes in. The reason why I'm a bit pessimistic, as much as I hate to be pessimistic, is because of the ethnic and racial disunity that, in my opinion, makes it difficult to build that critical mass. That's the reason why I acted that way in asking that question.
Well, I mean, you know, again, you see, ethnicity is a social construct amplified by those who are most times the oppressors to twist the thinking of the, I wouldn't say uninformed, but those who are not conscious enough to see it coming. Now, my dear good brother, from your name, you are Yoruba from the Southwest. And I will ask, if we go by the language of the ethnicity, what have you, not you as a person, but your people in this sense benefited that every other person hasn't? Absolutely nothing. The kids that were kidnapped, where are they from? But when we talk about anybody who talks about these children, it could be my children. I have kids. It could be them. Now, but to kill the nonsense, it's not about looking at it from ethnic prison, but to look at it from, we are Nigerians, we are all human. When your child is kidnapped, it is my child that is also kidnapped. When my child is harmed, it is also your child that is harmed. Because the people perpetrating this evil do not care. And I bet you that in these kids that they've kidnapped, you have indigents, you have those who have come to live in that community, and no one was asked, oh, are you Yoruba? Are you a Yoruba child? Are you a Calabar child? Are you an Igbo child? Are you a Fulani or Hausa or Mumuye or Efik child? Such question never happened. And I believe that Nigerians are able to go and transcend beyond ethnic nonsense. In the last election, my good brother here, who was the DG in Lagos State, has said it. Peter Obi did not win Lagos State because he's Igbo. And he didn't win because of Igbo votes. So those who voted, majority of those who voted him are Yorubas who live in Lagos. Majority of those who voted him are those other people, Nigerians, who live and who are resident in Lagos. Therefore, if you get that in our heads, I dwell less on this, you know, I mean, if you want to be pessimistic, fine. But in my pessimism, I also want to look at what is it that you and I, irrespective of where you come from, because what is happening to me is happening to you. Those that are supposed to give us light have gone and wired their places with solar. Who are the ones suffering the heat? You and I. Do you have solar? No. But those that are supposed to give us light, those that are supposed to make sure that we have an airline that scammed us in 2023, what are they doing? They are flying with private jets. You and I, we are the mercy of British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, and whatnot. They fix their prices, whereas we can do better. There are numerous things that we can talk about. I am not telling you to drop your guard on your or your suspicion on ethnic, you know, whatever it is. What I'm telling you is that if you and I are conscious enough, we can look beyond. Bear in mind that in 2023, my friends from the Southeast, many people were calling for Osibanjo to emerge. Not that they wanted any other thing, it's just that they looked at him as someone that they felt was competent to compete in this election. When Yar'Adua was contested for president, the people of the Southeast carried it in their head as if there was no tomorrow. When Olusegun Obasanjo contested the election, or even Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the people of the Southeast also came out in mass to support. So this narrative, do not allow politicians to sell you something that actually does not exist. In that sense, they are only trying to amplify it for their own benefit. Please, my dear brother, let's walk away from it. Thank you very much, Ayude.
All right, thank you, Maazi. Okay, we are rounding up because tomorrow we have a show, the normal show, Have Your Say 247, will be on tomorrow at 1 p.m. New York time, and on Sunday we will have a normal 90 Minutes Africa. So, Mr. John, you can respond to any of the things that were said in recent few minutes ago, or you can give us your concluding thoughts.
You mean as to what the gentleman just
yes,
said?
Femi, what Femi said.
You know, the only thing I can use as a baseline for us to take home tonight is that I don't know where it's calling from. Probably you're calling from London, US, wherever. Now, I want you to just sit in 10 seconds. Imagine you have a phone call ring from Lagos or from Ibadan, or you're wherever you must have, because your name, you're from the Southwest or from Ekiti. And you were told kidnappers have just taken your only younger sister, left home, and you know this your sister has an probably is diabetic patient or has an ailment. They just kidnap her, and they are asking us to raise money, probably like 30, 40, 50 million. Now, it's not about not raising the money. How do we get this 50 million out of Lagos to Ibadan? How do we rescue this your younger one? Ordinarily, it is not supposed to be your responsibility because you are not a security expert, right?
Exactly.
You are supposed to depend on the Nigerian police, the DSS, or from the presidency. And somebody is telling you somewhere, oh, let's just pray, God will do it, don't worry, she'll be fine. How will I ever convince you that she'll be fine? If you can just sit down, think that, I don't want you to tell me what, it's just imagination, it's not going to happen. But I tell you this happened to people like me and you every day in Nigeria. The one you can hear on radio, on TV, are those that have the opportunity to probably tell Dr. Damages like this, or tell somebody else, please, can you just put it on air? There are a lot that is not being reported. As I'm speaking to you here, I'm in Atlanta now. I'm with 8 House of Rep, 8. I'm with the Speaker of Jigawa State here. I'm with the minority leader here. About 15 people from Nigeria came for this program. I sat down and have discussion with them. If they tell you what their people experience, even as a serving member, what they experience back home, the kidnappers don't even talk these days. They pick up your phone, they call you. Tomorrow, Mr. John, bring your wife and your 2 daughters. Just drop them by that road, Nasarawa Road. Somebody will pick them up. God help you, don't do that. They don't have time to be running around chasing, wasting bullets. They know your number, they will call you. Please bring, when you are coming, make sure she come with a pot of soup, with 5 liters of jerry can. They will give you the list. You will bring that person. In a country we both live. When they are saying it, I'm arguing that it's not possible. Come on, don't tell me this. And they were looking at me. I'm telling you, they are here. House of Rep. I'm not saying normal Nigeria, just ordinary Nigeria. They are telling you what is going on in their community. And you are telling people who are going out there all around to demand this country back from these hijackers, that you don't believe they are going. You don't need to believe. I can't convince you. It's your own. It's your right. But this is the step we've chosen to take, and this is where we're going to. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. We were going to round up on this point, but I think I saw KJ, who is one of our moderators on this platform. So I will let KJ give you 2 minutes to say something or ask a question, and then we close for today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Damages. I was there initially, but I was caught up somewhere. Ezeoke, good to see you. And I want to start from there. Thank you so much for what you're doing, especially the fact that you took the bull by the horn and you faced the consequence. The village boy, trademark remains a new phenomenon in Nigeria that have chased some very big elephants out of the ring.
We don't hear them again.
Yes, so you've done what Napoleon could not do. Thank you so much.
No, KJ, hold on. Sorry, you said something, and I remember that Maazi Ezeoke also mentioned that we don't hear from the city boys anymore. Let me play this this video. This is from the city boys. Where is it? Are they stop? Okay, yeah.
They're not town boys now. No, they are town boys.
So for those who know cars, I don't know the names of cars. Somebody told me they are expensive cars, and I don't even know their names. Yeah.
Hi, sorry. This is, this is just very funny. So, Ezeoke doesn't need to campaign for any election. I mean, we all know that. He's not gonna waste a dime. I don't even think he's gonna even run an advert, to run an election. And one thing I've always said to myself, when I made my statement, I said, when Tinubu rigged the election and came into power, I said, you know what, let's give him a chance. Maybe because he rigged the election that he will be like, okay, let me do something that to surprise the citizens. But, he did not. See, I'm not a politician. If I tell you I'm not disappointed with Tinubu, with all these shenanigans, all this nonsense going on, he could have done something, even if it's just only electricity that he said that he promised to give us. Imagine if Tinubu had given us 24, not even 24 hours. Let's say 10 hours every day, or say 12 hours every day. Do you think we'll be here talking? We won't be here campaigning. We'll be like, okay, he did something, right? So the question I always ask myself, all this money that is being spent every day, just to, rig himself into power, not to win an election, because we know categorically that Tinubu is not going to win an election, no matter how, any way you want to do the math. The only way he can win this election is in the hands of judiciary. And my question has always been like, why did he not spend this money in the hands, on the citizens to do something? Why billions of money are being spent just to do campaign? But what are you campaigning with? We cannot even say anything. Or is it me that it's not thinking right? Because sometimes I look at what is happening in Nigeria, it seems like maybe, it's me that is missing the mark. So if they can spend all these billions of money to do campaign, why is it that the same amount of money was not put in the economy and see the people suffering? I just don't get it. Maybe it's just me, Maazi. Maybe it's just me,
no,
John.
If it's not you, in the street parlance and in the villages, would they talk and say, if they explain Nigerian matter to you and you understand them, and you say something wrong, where they explain it, you understand that. But before my brother KJ comes in, my brother Dr. Rudolph Damages, the video you played is an invoice. I'll explain it this way. You can see that video, that cars those cars were parked in an enclosed place and those videos were made. So those are branded. Some individuals are being old and they want to show workings. And in order to, put in for invoice to be paid, that video was made to say, Ogasiam na work there, bam. Let that vehicle come to the village. They will receive 14 out of how many, we was thinking village days, when he came to the village boys and girls and mamas taught him a lesson. Only 14 votes out of how many thousands, right? And he went online to say that those who are talking about him does not have G-Wagon. Yes, proudly to say that the village boys and girls do not have G-Wagon. And they spoke to him in a language he would understand. Now, that card there, I believe, I hope they pay him his invoices because we would be needing some recharge card in the village where we are. So when they come, we will collect what belongs to us.
All right, thank you. KJ, continue.
Okay, thank you. And we appreciate what you've done. I also want to commend my other brother, John. It's you guys need to understand what you are facing. They are not formidable because they are strong, but they are formidable because they have, the government apparatus behind them, and consequently can be used to either harass or intimidate you guys. So ours has to be a well thought out, planned out strategy. And Chief Ezeoke already knows, my thoughts on this. The grassroots, the younger people, they can be mobilized, and those people will deliver what you guys need. I dare to say that if this is not done, and if victory is not gotten, we may not have a country after 2027, because we are not working with somebody who is concerned about the future and the youth. Is concerned about himself and himself alone. If you want to doubt me, you can look at the statement made by Madam, yesterday, at this time when people are going to the moon and going to the stars and looking for other planetary bodies where they can settle human beings. You are asking Nigerians to start selling akara and kuli kuli. So it just tells you the mindset that what we have, that is how much they think about you. So that Tinubu and the rest will continue to lord over you and all of us. So it's a fight to finish, if you ask me. And Chief Ezeoke, I want to let you know, looking at you, I think you're a very tall guy. So you have to really put on your six-pack, because they're going to be wrestling with pigs. And then when they're wrestling with pigs, you don't come with a white shirt. So just know that what's going to go down is going to be, that's my take. You guys need to prepare very well. They are not merciful for people who are in government, who, just like John was saying earlier on, who see people on daily basis being used as suya. There's a very gory picture that has been trending on the internet. One particular individual was, was separated into two, the leg aside and the other side of the other way. And they'll have a government in that country where this is happening. So what do you say? You see that there's nothing, these people are not concerned about anything. I want to commend you guys. I have nothing, to say more than just to commend you and to ask you guys to please keep the good job going and encourage people. Encourage them, especially those who will not want to come out to participate because they think that there's no need to come out. Those are your numbers. If you can get those young men to come out and get them angry enough to stand and defend their votes, then we'll be home free. And again, I want to say on this channel, we're not surprised that what happened because I was telling Rudolph earlier, we had talked about it. We predicted that they're going to come for Obi. The only thing that shocked me is that they came earlier than I had predicted. I was thinking they will be waiting till towards November, December, when if they hit, it will be too late before anything happens. So it was a bit early that they came. So it's going to be a good day. We are waiting to see how it plays out. Well, you guys, well done. Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, KJ. Okay. So, Maazi, we've come to the end. Final thoughts, if you have any. And Olu, you want to say something? Go ahead. Before Maazi. Olu, go ahead. You're muted. Unmute yourself, Olu. Olu, we can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Olu, can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say something to Maazi. Maazi, do you normally come for the Manchester New Yam Festival?
Yeah, sometimes I do, but I think I will be the one in London this year, hopefully.
Ah, okay. Okay, no problem. I was hoping I could get to meet you in person, but fantastic conversation, and I can only wish you the best. And I know the fight that you guys are fighting is for a new Nigeria. And like you notice, I'm a Yoruba man, and I don't support this level of criminality. And I'm not a bigot that basically more concerned about my ethnic group, but more concerned for the country. And I pray that the Lord will grant you strength, wisdom, understanding, and the good guidance of the Lord will be with you. And we will see a new Nigeria, and Nigeria will be okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Olu. Thank you so much. And nice to have you join us today. Thank you, Ify, for being here. Thank you, KJ. Maazi, I will let you give us your final thoughts. If you're handing out meat, raw meat, anything, whatever you hand out, like other politicians, you're at that level now. So go ahead.
I want to make it very brief. The only thing I have an appeal to make to Nigeria. Please, this is not a fight for the OK movement, the Village Boys movement, cop them or the obedient. This is for the soul of Nigeria. Sometimes when many of us sit back behind the keyboard or our notepads, we talk in third person. Let them. It's not about letting anybody. It's about us. It's a collective. That the things happening in Nigeria, that they are abnormal. That especially those of my brothers and sisters in the diaspora that have seen the other side of life. Some in the villages may be forgiven because they don't know better. But those who have been exposed, who have seen a glimpse of what could be possible, should please help. Yes, you may not be readily available to physically engage, but I beg and I kneel to say that telephone call, that WhatsApp message you will send to those siblings, mom, parents at home to say, you think this is the right thing to do. Work an extra shift and use that little resources to support those in the field doing the heavy lifting. People are taking risks, moving around. I'm somewhat, I was moving from one state to another in the southeast, and someone met me in a bus. He said that in a million years you'll never know that I would just be in a public bus. I said, well, in life I dey save, because it is safer for me to be in the public transport and to stay alive than, because it's a crazy world. So in essence is, if we all put our hands on deck to say that come 2027, let us put our differences aside. Let us put this gap of ethnic jingoism aside and look, who do we think they can do better? Who do we think amongst all the contestants is the best amongst all now for 2027? Who do we think by antecedents, by competence, by capacity, by show of compassion, and the agility to run around. Who do we think, if he is the president today, these children that were kidnapped, that he would have moved the seat of power from Aso Rock into the bushes? Someone made a comment here that in a nation like Nigeria, kids are taken into the bush. We do not, is it that we do not have the technology to see heat wave when how these individuals move in the bushes? You know, there are things that when they happen, you can say that 2014 was a long time. Maybe there are certain technologies that were not there. But if those who can acquire technology, someone told me, someone high up there told me that even Nigeria has technology to break into WhatsApp, even when WhatsApp is encrypted. A technology allegedly that they acquired from Israel. So in all these things, where are those technologies? My final appeal to us, which again is, please, brothers and sisters, irrespective of where we come from, are you Hausa, Igbo, Efik, Ibibio, Yoruba, wherever you come from, let us come together and work and ensure that in 2027, that a new Nigeria in our lifetime becomes possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maazi. Thank you so much for that summation. John, final words.
Yeah, first I want to thank you, Dr. Damages. Even that name scares me a lot because I don't want to have any business to do with people that have been damaging Nigeria. So I want to thank Maazi very well because for putting up this with short notice. You know, we were just talking some 2-3 days ago while I was in Washington, and he said we got to speak, we got to talk, we got to start talking. What we didn't even see, we didn't even talk about this so-called court order or ruling today. We have other things we wanted to discuss about. So he said, John, we got to speak. And I said, fine, I'm done. And here we are. Like I said, I was telling, I can't get the name of the book I read during the slavery. There was this black woman, no, a white woman, actually, saving the black slave, taking them from their camp, releasing them. So one of the questions, when after the time, before her death, they asked her what was most challenging part of it. She said, when they get to the way of escape, the blacks that want to go back to the camp, meaning that when they go back, they'll be arrested. What happened now? This woman was the one taking us into setting us free. And that is my greatest fear, my worry. That an average Nigeria here today will tell you, oh, why are you, I don't believe. I don't believe you can do this. I don't believe Tinubu will give up power. I don't, that is my own worry. But we are here sacrificing our time. I tell people I shouldn't be in Nigeria. My family are in England. After spending over 30 years, the kids are there. I spent barely 9 months to 10 months in Nigeria, leaving a wife with young children back home, all for political reason that Nigeria must change. It is possible to have a new Nigeria. Do you get what I'm saying now? So, what I'm trying to say here is that we're appealing to every Nigeria out here, both in London, France, Germany, US, wherever you are. If the least you can do, just encourage us. That phone call that you can make, because people back home tend to believe you here. If you tell them this is where we're going to, they will go with you. So please just tell them a new Nigeria that we are bringing is possible. Let them just come out and cast their votes. That is all we want.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, John. We really appreciate two of you for joining us today. When the campaign starts in earnest, I hope you will all come back and we will have conversations on what's going on, practical steps, and how to deal with all the things, challenges we know that will be in front of all of us as we go to elections. Again, thank you for being here, Maazi.
Thank you very much, Rudolph.
Thank you
for having us.
Thank you so much. We will, again, tomorrow we'll have a regular show, have your say 247, and on Sunday we have 90 Minutes Africa. I want to thank the only person that supported us today, which is Rabiu Kwankwaso. Thank you so much for your support. This is how we keep the lights on in the studio here. We appreciate that. Until next tomorrow at 1 p.m. New York time, we'll be live with 90 Minutes. Have yourself for 247. I'm tired. Thank you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.
Trying to give hope, and to start Akara business doesn't take a lot of money. To start roasting corn, or somebody even said about grant, you see they're saying that kuli doesn't take much. We didn't give them a loan. We gave it to them as a grant. So we've encouraged Nigerians as best as we could. What is within our hands, I have given, and I keep giving, and those are the things we've done. I remember giving for TB, when I heard there's so much TB cases, I gave 2 billion. To breast cancer, I gave 1 billion. To food malnutrition, I gave 500 million. So those are the things we've been doing, and making sure we can make sure that whatever this government is trying to do, that it will see the light of the day. So in Agric we've done, in social investment we have, in education we've given a little bit of scholarship, ICT training, and with NIDA. So, and all those are things, and we are still open, still want to do more. The narrative has really changed, has changed to challenge the average man. Whereas the average man is supposed to have hope. So I like the
Tobechukwu torí ẹ̀ ọwọ́ ẹni ló ti ṣàánú kọ́. Ayé la bá, ayé la fi sílẹ̀ sí. Lọ́nà èyí yóò.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You are laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam. Thank you so much. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. By the end of the year, how are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why?